I'm no tech genius, but I knew if I wanted my business to crush it, I needed a website now. Thankfully, Bluehost made it easy. I customized, optimized, and monetized everything exactly how I wanted with AI. In minutes, my site was up. I couldn't believe it. The search engine tools even helped me get more site visitors. Whatever your passion project is, you can set it up with Bluehost. With their 30-day money-back guarantee, what do you got to lose? Head to Bluehost.com. That's BLUEHOST.com to start now.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
So it's like you have a spotlight facing you, so it's like you just entered the stage of a Broadway musical.
Any birthdays out there?
Oh, Broadway musicals are asking for birthdays? Do they do that?
It's Broadway comedy.
Anybody with like a weird limp?
Hey, bachelorette party, right?
That's how comedy goes?
Because I thought, hey, now I've had one done, I'll just call the same guy back. Well, we tried to call him.
Did he die too?
We were met with... His name is Jack, too. Well, you know what they say about all Jacks who I know in my life, right?
No, Steve, what's that?
They all die. I also like prunes now, too.
You're listening to this podcast. You got a guy talking prunes and avocado, the superfruit.
Nothing gets me more excited than a firm bowel movement. Boy, that was something. Love it. Did you see somebody sent us the music?
Yeah.
To...
Okay. We need to talk about that for a moment because somebody sent what they're claiming is sheet music. So I pull it up. Now, granted, I pull it up on my phone.
I like how we're just getting right into it here
because I'm upset because I now have people on Twitter who are giving me the eye roll emoji and all this nonsense, and they're saying, "Here's the music, no excuse." And I open it, and it's this bouncing around thing. How the heck is anybody supposed to keep up with it? Here's what I want. If anybody's willing to help me, here's what I need. A static piece of paper with the notes on it. I don't care if you draw the note thing. Is that like you draw the note?
Yeah.
Like the symbol?
Uh-huh.
Or if you just want to, write it out like A and B flat, cross the jigger and then down the line. Whatever. I don't know what music is, okay? So if you want to give me this...
I mean, it's shocking that you would say that because it seems like you have a complete grasp of it because, cross the jigger up the whatever.
Yeah,
B
and
flat.
then bring it back down the line is a music term that I've heard. So I need somebody to do that, and that's when I can really get started. I don't think that's asking too much.
No.
Oh, and also, if somebody could tell us what that pedal is.
Oh, I thought that we figured out that was like a kick drum. It was like a piano kick drum.
But I've decided that I need to renegotiate the deal if I have to use that.
Oh.
I didn't realize a foot pedal would be part of the piano playing process.
I thought it was no problem.
Well, a straight piano with just fingers and reading, a mute can do who is blind.
Right.
'Cause you can feel your way around.
Yeah.
You include a foot pedal, though.
Sure.
You're just, you're monkeying around down there. Yeah. You're kicking. It's not fair. That's what I'm getting at, Steve.
All right. It is Monday, August 27th, 2018, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. It's the Just Cause We Felt Like live streaming an episode. So this is being live streamed to YouTube. Not sure if we'll... So obviously if you're listening to this later on down the line, I don't know if the video is still going to be up there. I guess it depends on how it sounds, if the quality's good, if people manage to behave not say anything too offensive.
Well, and it's important, too.
It's been fun, folks.
And he's gone.
It's important, too, to be very selfish about it.
Just realized I didn't start the timer, so we're going to be...
Well, I'll know where I'm going to have to work off of for the time.
What's that one head over there?
Just 4:35.
4:35. All right.
Things moving smooth over here. With an extra set of hands, you still can't get it done.
Well, it's an extra set of hands, yes, but about 40 more cords draped across this countertop, across the floor.
What we have here is what I feel like ESPN Minute 1, Day 1 had. Yeah. Just a floor and tables with cables everywhere.
Yeah.
I was warned. I barely even made it down the steps, and it was like when you're at an airport, Doug. You were walking down with me. It's like when I'm at an airport and they have the PA going, there's no parking in the red zone, only parking in the white zone. But in this case, it's the droning voice of Steve from a room away saying, be careful, live production setup, cords everywhere.
Live production environment.
Be careful. So Doug, as an outsider.
All right, so first of all, let's introduce Doug. Doug is my friend we figured it out the other night, approximately 28 years we've known each other.
Okay.
He spoke at my wedding with me through thick and thin, here to tell all of
Except for the Ray Thick.
Except for, he didn't know Ray.
Damn it.
Here to tell all the stories, all the embarrassing stories about my childhood.
Yeah, so...
Doug, welcome.
Look who showed up there.
Oh, yeah. All right.
If you...
You got to talk right into that. You got to be real. Yeah.
I'm learning here, folks.
Yeah, that's a hot mic. That's look at that baby.
Yeah. Well,
Did you pull that thing straight from the archives of the former Spanish station?
No, believe it or not, we use that on a regular basis in the studio. Yeah.
And again, if you're not licking it, it might not pick up any audio.
Yeah.
hello.
Yeah, now we're talking.
You're also
we're
speaking very soft. You're speaking a lot softer than you
Just
normally.
talk like
New
you know.
Jersey, man. We talk soft there.
Yeah, you guys are very
Ding
soft
one.
spoken.
This. All right. So the other night, Saturday night, we were in Gurney,
You can
Illinois.
also adjust that, by the way.
We were in Gurney, Illinois. Yes, I know. It's exactly what you've heard.
Before you get to your story about Gurney,
Yeah.
just total side note.
What do you got?
Did you see any billboard spots? Sounds like a town. It sounds like a town for us.
No, this one it's bigger than it sounds. Gurney is
No, it's not. No, you're lying.
Well, Six Flags Great America is there, so
okay.
It's I would imagine advertising is a couple bucks,
But it's like,
but we're sitting at a restaurant having some drinks, eating some dinner. Was that a cat? Or
it was either a cat or a net. No, there's two options here. A cat walked in, or a net picked up the electric guitar.
I heard like.
That's what I heard. There was a riff there on the end that I didn't think could be made by an animal.
All right, so we're sitting at this restaurant in Gurney, Illinois, and I decide let's we've both had a couple of drinks.
Literally,
And by a couple, he means a lot.
okay.
Yeah, we had quite a bit to drink, but luckily, hotel's right across the street. We have to walk a matter of feet to get back there.
I want to tell you that Gurney, Illinois, is the first thing when I Google just the words Gurney, Illinois.
Yeah.
Quote, is a ghost town in Cass County, Illinois. So I think Gurney, Illinois would probably be up our alley.
Yeah.
For advertising purposes.
Well, we sit down and we decide.
Hey, they have a Hooters there?
Oh, they
in
do have
Outback?
a Hooters. Yeah.
Do they have a marquee? Because you know one thing we're looking for with this billboard and the advertising, Steve? We want a marquee with our big dumb faces on it for our first ever live show that we've weaseled our way into with fake letterhead.
Well, we decided since Gurney was so big, we had to make it bigger. So I pulled out the phone, I set it up on the counter, or right on the bar there, aimed it at us, and we did about a half-hour Periscope show from the Hooters in Gurney.
So everybody's going to visit?
Well, it was crazy because we had over 200 people watching us sit there and do nothing.
Steve, I've seen our downloads. I know 200's a number we don't see very often.
Yeah.
But the one thing that came up was something that I don't know if you've noticed it before, but I would hope that I don't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. But it's the propensity for people from New Jersey to constantly tell you that they're from New Jersey before they make statements. Like, hey, I'm from Jersey. Of course I want another Miller Lite.
Right.
Or, hey, I'm from Jersey. Somebody barfed on the floor over there. Or, hey, I'm from Jersey. I don't remember where I parked my car. Like, there's no need to constantly
None of
use
those words
it.
other than I'm from New Jersey came out of my mouth.
Right.
The only time that's necessary is if I were to say, hey, Doug, where are you from?
Hey, you know what? The bartender said that to me. And my
Okay.
answer was, I'm from New Jersey.
Okay.
No.
In due fashion, though, Steve is also an accountant, by the way. And
Right.
I sell vacuums.
Yeah, that's true. I did tell.
Your fake characters?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. You know, most people do that. Is couples looking to spice up their relationships.
Well,
So you guys are driving to Gurney.
Yeah.
You're thinking, Doug, Steve, we just don't got the mojo anymore.
No,
This
we
is how
gotta-
we're going to
yeah.
spice. We're going to have a
Spice it
night
up
at
a
the
bit.
bar where I'm an accountant and you're a librarian.
vacuum salesman.
Vacuum salesman. You guys picked luxurious careers that
Yeah.
everybody wants. You weren't
Actually,
like a
I
CIA
said-
agent undercover.
Well, the bartender said, "Oh, what do you guys do?" And I just said, "I'm an accountant." And she just stared at me for a minute, and then she just laughed and walked away.
Oh, so nobody believed you.
No, it's I think that my theory is that if you have a remotely interesting sounding job, there's always going to be that follow up where somebody says, "Oh, that sounds like fun," or "Oh, that's neat. Tell me more about that." Like if you said, "Oh, yeah, I'm an airplane mechanic." Like there's going to be a follow up where somebody says, "Wow, that's good. Do you work like on an aircraft carrier, or do you work at the airport, or what? What's the deal?" But if you say, "I'm an accountant," no one cares.
Yeah, and-
everyone just says, So you want 8 wings or 10?
If
You want the spicy or honey barbecue?
If I'm your waitress and we're chatting and you tell me you're an accountant, Doug, you tell me you're a vacuum salesman.
Well, originally I was a tax guy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, well that's way too vague. First of all, you said you're from New Jersey, and now you're quote.
Hey, I'm from Jersey. I'm a tax guy.
Now you're quote a tax guy that has, the cousin of the Sopranos written all over it, and you're going to get more questions than you're comfortable with.
His name's Vito
But
Gambini.
the whole reason the vacuum salesman thing came up is you leave my cousin. Yeah, this is all right because it's a limited slip differential.
Into the mic.
Okay?
Into the mic.
Sorry.
Vito Gambini.
The reason the vacuum salesman came up is that the bartender told us that Hooters was changing their image to a family restaurant.
Oh yeah, this is all over the news last week. There was a man who was publicly shamed on Twitter. Did you read his big expose on how he would fix Hooters?
No.
He was shamed because he thought maybe they should make it a place for healthy debate between waitresses and patrons. They could even do a free wing debate Wednesday. It was
Debate like the
you
topic,
sit there, you would debate the
topics
waitresses
of the day.
Yeah, me and
Okay.
a Hooters waitresses. They're going to be wearing smocks and like wooden shoes. We're going
Yeah.
to keep it clean, no heels, and you're just going to have a polite disagreement.
Yeah.
with your waitress.
Well,
So
we're sitting there, and of course, there's TVs everywhere, and a few of them had ESPN on or different
All sports.
Yeah, different football games going on and everything. But you know how like if they have 12 TVs, like 3 will be on one channel, 3 will be on another, 3 on another. Well, at least 3 of these channel, or at least 3 or 4 of these TVs were on the channel where the infomercial for the Shark vacuum.
The Shark Rocket, by the way, let me tell you, triple layer suction power, awesome hand grip.
I mean, it
and
was
portable.
impressive, but it just kept playing.
what's the price point? Do we got flex
Oh
pay?
yeah, five easy payments. Of
am I getting
35.95.
two if I buy it today?
No, free shipping though. If you order,
Oh, come on, I can go to Amazon for free shipping.
Right.
If I'm buying anything from a TV, Steve, what's the one thing you're looking for? If you're going to buy something from TV by the end of the advertisement,
I'm looking for order now. Order in the next 10 minutes,
Yep.
and we'll double your order.
if you're not getting it doubled, why waste your time and money?
Because a lot of times they do the order in the next 10 minutes. We'll double your order, but you got to pay shipping on that second one. All right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I said to the waitress,
Keep your
I
red
was
copper pot to yourself then.
I was like, is part of Hooters' new family-friendly atmosphere that you have to show vacuum infomercials on TV? And then she's like, no, I don't think. Oh, and then she looks up at the TV. Well, by the end of the night, everybody at that bar wanted to buy one of those effing vacuums.
Well, because if it's on loop, it's like they're battering it into your brain.
Picked up batteries, picked up pennies, Picked up Cap'n Crunch.
What point is that lazy, though?
I know.
Like, if you leave a battery on the floor, like, you're nuts if you think I'm leaning over and picking that up. I got the Shark Rocket with triple layer suction and a rubber gripped handle to pick that up today.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was our big trip to Gurnee, Illinois.
Hey, can I give a big shout out real quick though?
Okay.
They need at the Hooters in Gurnee, Illinois. They need those mats in the bar for those bartenders.
Oh yeah, the bartender were
Putting
telling
out
us,
the call?
Yeah.
You know how at every bar, at every restaurant, and like in the kitchen, they have those
Got some memory
thick
foam?
rubber mats that have the little holes in them.
Sure.
The manager there won't let them have them.
Okay, so surely there must be a reason. Like, what's
That
going on?
That seems like an OSHA thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna fall.
It's at gas stations. It's at.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
hell?
important.
Yeah.
Those girls are currently showing a little more cleavage than they're probably comfortable with, and they can't even be soft on their feet.
Nope. Not there.
Sounds like we
Not at
need
Hooters
to.
in Gurnee, Illinois.
Do we need to upgrade, or do we need to reopen the GoFundMe? Are we now crowdfunding memory foam pads? Nope. Memory foam
Flooring
floor
Yeah.
mats
Floor mats, yeah.
for the Hooters waitresses
in Gurnee,
in
Illinois.
Gurnee, Illinois.
Specifically
Gurnee.
We don't want the fruits of our labor going to any other restaurant.
I don't care about the other Hooters.
No.
I haven't been there, and quite frankly, they're going to be closed down within a year. That probably goes for the Gurnee
man.
location
Place
as
was
well.
hopping.
Well, I told you it's a ghost town.
It was packed.
It's technically a ghost town.
Wait. The population of Gurney's got to at least be 10K.
It was so bad, it didn't even list it, Doug. It said ghost town, and that was the extent of the Wikipedia about Gurnee.
How did you spell Gurney, by the way?
Gurney.
No, it's
That's
Gurnee.
Oh, I'm sure that'll make the difference.
Gurney.
Imagine there's like 3 different Gurneys. In
Why would there be? Oh, okay, well, now I hate Illinois.
Is there?
Because there is. There is.
The population of 31,295. But, it's a ghost town, right?
Well, that's not. Yeah, 31,000.
31,000. That's legit. Yeah, that's a
pretty big.
That's a pretty big town.
Pretty big town.
So, do you think?
E-Rod knows Gurney's huge.
Do you think Gurnee with a Y is pissed at Gurnee with an E, with double E, because they took all the mojo and made them a ghost town?
You know what we got to do? We got to look up Gurnee with a Y, see if they have a Hooters, call them, find out if they have those memory foam cushion mats behind the bar.
Let's see, find a Hooters location near you. They're prompting me to double E, and I won't stand for it.
What is the zip code of Gurnee with a Y?
It's a very good question. I don't want to give out too many personal information. The 6 people there, I don't want them getting harassed by this podcast. It literally doesn't say. Illinois, Route 125. Route or route? How are we going on that? You guys are both from Jersey.
I say route.
Route 130.
Like Route 66.
Yeah. Route 66.
So when would you use route?
My paper route?
Yeah, paper
route,
This
mail route.
to work?
So like route would be for the road.
Route would
You
be,
would say route to work? Like you took this route to work?
Which route would you like me to take to work?
Okay, well, what if your route was
boy,
on
I don't
route?
know. I think
what
I
if your
could-
route was on Route 66?
Then my route
Your
route.
route was on Route 66, or your route was on Route 66?
I think I could go either way.
Yeah,
In any.
depends.
Well,
Yeah.
I know what the poll for this week is.
Yeah, boy, that'll really bring in the pollsters. Boy, what have we talked about in the first 20 minutes of this podcast?
Nothing, and you're the one who has to take notes, so that is a bummer.
All I have written down is 4:35. Timer started, and then Doug is in studio.
Okay, we talked about Gurnee, Illinois.
Okay,
Originally,
our trip to Gurnee.
Kyle thought we were talking about the one with the Y.
Oh yeah, idiot.
yeah. So
Yeah, I can't believe I mixed up the dueling Gurneys of Illinois. That sounds like a nice Western.
Listen, we stayed at the Super 6 Motel.
Oh, it was.
It wasn't a Motel 6?
No, it was a Super 8.
Oh, okay.
Doug originally told me it was a Motel 8, which then it changed to a Super 6 or something.
So what happened?
But I told him. Now let me ask you. I have a theory that when you're a man of 37 years old, it's time to stop staying in hotels with numbers in their name.
Listen,
I'm gonna. Well, okay. One day, 2 days? How long were you there?
Can I?
Well, he was there for like 4.
So
So you were a resident of Gurney.
Population 8.
Yeah, you're included in the next census.
We don't even know it, but now Doug is on the ballot for drain commissioner because of his thoughts on floor mats at Hooters.
No one that doesn't live there has ever stayed there longer.
Right. So I'm in town in Gurney, right? And
That's 2 E's.
2 E's, yeah.
2 E's.
Don't go to the Y.
No.
Go to the
Don't go to the Y, and
double
more
E,
importantly,
guys.
don't go to the Y and mention the double E. You will have a fight on your hands.
Arch rivals.
So I'm on my own. You know, I'm flying up Chicago, going up there to meet him. He's going to come out on Friday. I'm not going to be in my room at all. I'm going to the
Right into it.
right into it.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh,
yeah, is that better?
crisp.
Yeah.
Hello. So, I'm figuring, it's $75 a night to stay here with my Wyndham rewards, right?
Whoa, baller.
Whoa, hang on. Wyndham Rewards at the Super 6?
Wyndham owns Super 8, yeah.
Imagine that.
So was this a Super 8 that 2 rooms are now uninhabitable, and that's why we had to drop her to a 6? Do they just turn off some of the bulbs on the Super 8 so it looks like a 6?
This place, when you walk up to a hotel, normally there's like the big, everybody's been to a hotel before. You see the big glass doors, like the really wide doors.
When you walk in.
You walk up and
they open.
Maybe there's a little vestibule and then the second set opens up.
Yeah, classy.
This place it was the massive side of the building.
Like
and
an emergency
it
exit
had
from
one
a Costco.
screen door. So I pulled in and I'm like,
A screen door that can, like robbers used in Home Alone, and they just cut a little square?
it was a single door, which threw me off right away because it's the big side of the building. You'd expect there to be a big door, but it was like, let's see how big we can make the side of the wall and how small we can make the door.
Yeah.
Just to throw everybody off, because I guarantee everybody pulls in there and they all say the same thing. Well, where's the wait? How do you? What is that?
It
That's
does
a
have the
side
car pull-up
That must
area,
be a
like where you
side.
come
That
and
must
pull
be
up.
a side door because it looks really weird. I'm going to try and pull up.
Yeah, maybe it's on the Google Map view.
Yeah.
By chance. Now,
But listen, I stayed there. I didn't want to run a car because I knew he was coming up. I wanted to be able to walk to the park because I went to Six Flags out there.
so the Gurney, Six Flags is in Gurney.
Yeah, it's directly across the street from the
Boy,
Super Street.
Yeah.
You wonder how these towns get chosen.
Yeah.
So you stay at the Super 6 because 2 rooms are now declared uninhabitable.
Oh boy, does this picture really make this place look nice?
Can you pull it up on the Jumbotron
Actually,
for
no,
me?
it looks like an elementary school. Hold on.
And a question while he's pulling that up, Doug. I have a question.
Listen, in case anybody from the Super 8 and Gurney hears this,
Super 6.
Not Super 8, but yeah.
Well, we'll throw them off. We'll say Super 6.
Super 6. I actually enjoyed my stay there other than the swimming pool. I will leave that in my TripAdvisor report.
Yeah, but any swimming pool at
you're that guy?
at a motel, it just
Is it a little ugly?
well, it's just
Herpes syphilitis AIDS,
because they try to they put so many chemicals in there that the water's so hot that it just smells like there are gross things living in it.
Yeah. You couldn't see the bottom of the pool.
Okay.
So, but they renovated all the rooms, the bathrooms.
All right, so there we go.
No,
There's-
that's when it was the Grand.
No, yeah, it looked exactly the same.
Hey, that wasn't in our room.
Hold on.
Whoa, is that a hairdryer next to the phone?
But
Hey.
notice, this is the main entrance.
That can't be right.
That is the main entrance of the hotel.
See, it looks pretty clean though, right?
It
75
looks
bucks.
habitable, but again, they know what they're doing when they're
Yeah,
taking those
exactly.
pictures. It's
My
not-
room looked almost identical to that.
Okay.
Hold
Oh, whoa! Is that coin-operated laundry? You say?
Nothing but the best.
on. Let's go back to this.
So wait.
This picture, the main entrance. Like, what? Like, what is all of this surrounding area? It's like they said this is where the big door is going to go, and then ooh, yeah, we're a little short on budget.
Listen,
so
yeah.
go to Home Depot, pick up the screen door.
My understanding was that before it became the Super 8, it was called the Grand, and it was some kind of themed hotel.
Oh, like lions in one room and
Yeah.
like bobcats in the
Like,
next.
hey, I
think
get the
if you
luau
go-
room.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just
remember-
88 and
yeah.
humid with a mosquito net.
I'm in the 73 Milwaukee Brewers suite.
Autographs from all those brewers of yesteryear. And why there's a Milwaukee Brewers one in Gurney, Illinois, we don't really know, but they just had memorabilia around.
Well, I mean,
Well,
it's only
the
it's
2
only a
hours
couple
and-
miles from Wisconsin, so
Okay.
might have a lot of.
But you're in Illinois, right?
there.
Don't you?
Yeah.
You don't you go Illinois,
never
right?
know.
You got a couple Chicago
Well,
teams. You're
Well, that
pretty
was-
close
that was
to
room
St.
501.
Louis.
you never know what these slobs in Gurney are into.
You mean the slobs at the Gurney Y?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want you disrespecting the double E.
No. Of course not.
So, Doug, let me ask you this. You tell your family, your friends, whoever, loved ones, you're taking a vacation. They're all happy for you. They say, oh, my God, Doug, you deserve it. You've been working hard. You're going to go spend a week on a cruise, maybe go lay on a beach in Hawaii, visit the where is it, Steve?
The Sphinx?
The eastern side of Jamaica.
Oh, you mean the northern coast, Sandals, Jamaica?
That's the one, the northern coast. The eastern coast, as you said, is full of poor people you will never pay attention to.
Well, the whole island is
full of poor people that you won't pay attention to.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your shuttle runs those people over on the way to the resort.
Good. So you tell these people you're taking a vacation. They're all excited for you. They say, Doug, where are you going? And you say, the Super 8 in Gurnee, Illinois. So at this point, there's some concern, right? I'm assuming your mom's I'm assuming your parents are going, Doug, are you hooked again? Like, is this the nearest area you can get the meth you want?
Yeah, Gurnee is like the crank capital of the U.S.
Yeah. What's their response when you tell them you're going to Gurnee?
All right, so there really isn't much of a response. I have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
My soon-to-be teenage daughter, I miss you, by the way, was not happy.
Not enough to go home today, though.
No, absolutely not. Not happy that I was not taking her, but our family is very big on roller coasters, like me and my kids.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to take a trip and just hit a couple parks, and there were supposed to be a ton more parks that I was going to hit on this trip, but my plans got canceled. Ended up just flying to Chicago, then driving up north to Gurnee, and trying to do as cheap as possible so I can come back here.
Sure, $75 at the Super 8/6.
I don't have a rash or any beg butts. I'm
Yet.
good to go, man.
Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, they may take a couple days.
Yeah, they're going to transfer to Steve's spare room. By the time he leaves, Steve is going to burn the bedding.
Listen, it wasn't that bad, folks.
So you're a roller coaster guy.
Can we talk about roller coasters? Because I've
yeah, I think we can. There was a minor incident.
Yes,
that occurred.
Terrifying or
no?
Oh, okay.
No. So I got into town. I got into Gurnee on Friday night.
Drove
to Gurnee. Sat in traffic for a couple hours, which sucked. Got into town.
Went to an amazing bar.
Went to Timothy O'Toole's
excellent
that night.
If you're ever in town there, Timothy O'Toole's.
So we next morning.
Nobody's ever going to be in town in Gurnee, Doug. You can't say that like, I was passing through. I heard Doug mention this hot bar named Timmy O'Toole's. I better swing in.
So
Best French dip ever. That's all I'm saying.
We woke up the next morning and we decided to fuel up before walking over to the park.
Yeah.
So we went to a Golden Corral.
Whoa, you guys.
Are you familiar?
So you guys are living high.
Yeah. I mean, breakfast buffet, $9 a piece.
Whoa.
And I thought, let's do it. Yeah. I hadn't been to a Golden Corral in, I bet, 25 years.
Sure.
And so we walk in there, and should have been an indication that we were in the wrong spot because there was no line.
Do they have the health code violations listed at the wait at the server or at the hostess stand? Or
no, but it's a weird thing. Like, you walk in and it's a breakfast buffet, but they put you through a corral, and then you pay, which I guess makes sense. It's called Golden Corral.
That's the only way to get in.
But I don't know. It just seemed weird. You pay before you eat. I don't know. Maybe that's
the way most of the casinos work.
Is it really?
Yeah, you pay when you walk in, then they seat you. You can either tip before or tip after, or in the case of a cheap...
or neither, in our case.
Oh, good. So you guys went all expenses out to Gurnee, Illinois, splurged on a $9 breakfast buffet, and then felt so good about yourselves, you stiffed the lady working the Gurnee Golden Corral out of a $2 tip?
You know something? It didn't even occur to me until you just said that 30 seconds ago.
No, we're not. No, you know what? You take your Hooters complaint and floor mats, and you leave them alone. We're now crowdfunding the tip for the poor girl to clean your mess.
Okay. Well, first of all, I feel like you're gonna think that I'm justified for not tipping at the Golden Corral when I tell you that food remained in my stomach for less than 2 hours.
Now, was this morning of Six Flags?
This is morning of Six Flags.
So you make a nice decision. The morning you're going to go on flippy, turny roller coasters, you decide a breakfast buffet is the way to go. You don't want to grab a sensible bagel, maybe some cream cheese.
It was a poor decision, and it is 100% on me for that. So we fueled up, had some French toast, little sausage patties,
syrup.
That's where he went wrong.
Grease.
Sausage patties is where he went wrong.
You do a lot of bacon.
No, I didn't do any bacon. Some eggs.
You went to a breakfast buffet and purposely you went with the egg beaters and the sausage links from a package. Yet the best item, the one item that you really can't screw up on a buffet, and if it's screwed up, you can tell.
The bacon?
The bacon.
Oh, they can easily screw it up.
If it's not cooked, but you can tell.
Right, it was definitely, I looked at it, because I love bacon.
Sure.
Looked at it and just said, nope, not cooked enough for my liking. So I left it, and that was fine. So then we left there. We walked over to the amusement park.
Can we make note that it was hotter than hell there?
It was very warm. Very warm.
I refuse to note it in the record. You went on the third weekend in August.
Dude,
this isn't rocket science. You guys decide the morning of roller coasters to go have a hot breakfast buffet and then walk into the humid heat to an amusement park, and you're expecting the sympathy.
Oh, no. I'm not.
You are the voice of reason. Where were you?
I'm expecting zero sympathy because I knew that this was all a poor planning and a bad idea.
Yeah.
Yet I like food.
You're in Gurney, man. You're living, right?
Exactly. When in Gurney, you go to Golden Corral. That's what they say. That's when you drive into town.
Yeah.
It says Gurney, home of Golden Corral,
home of one of 1,200 locations of a local Golden Corral.
So we're walking over to Six Flags. It's probably a 10, 12-minute walk by the time, because when you're driving into Six Flags, it goes by pretty quick. When you're walking in, those parking lots are freaking massive.
Yeah.
So we're walking in, and by the time we get to the gate, we've already both completely sweated through our shirts. So we get inside.
You have a sensible
park
polo
opens
on.
at 10:30 or something. The ride that we wanted to go on first didn't start running till 11. So we get there. We stand in line at this ride for maybe 10 minutes.
You didn't go hit the teacups?
No.
Go try to win a stuffed banana?
No.
You wouldn't have lasted long on the teacups, I can guarantee that.
No. God.
So the first one we went on was this. It was an old wooden coaster.
Viper. 1981.
So you start on a wooden coaster. Now, wooden coasters. Now, I am not a roller coaster aficionado. My stomach can't handle them, Doug.
Neither can Steve's. So
but I know a wooden roller coaster, is not meant for their comfort.
Oh, no. You slam around.
At this point, why they still exist, I can't explain.
We'll talk about that sometime later. But
is it a historical aspect?
No, that's...
Are we using the stupid covered bridge argument here?
No, that coaster was built actually in the 90s sometime, I believe.
They willingly built that piece of garbage within the last 20
I don't think
years?
It's a piece of garbge.
A wooden coaster, come on.
No, man, the technology's come a long way.
It's still lumber.
Okay, well, I'm not going to sit here and defend it. So let's keep going.
This argument would never end.
Yes. So
So we ride the first coaster, and I got off there, felt great, and I don't think that I don't know, how high is that one? It's not
maybe 110 feet.
All right. 25 feet, and you're going 15 mile an hour. You're taking the Snoopy loop.
So no big deal. Get off that coaster. We're like, all right, let's head over to what was the next one?
Raging Bull.
Yeah,
Raging Bull. I'm
pulling it up right now. You can pull it up for
I'll pull up a picture of Raging Bull.
Is this the new one? This is the one you want?
No.
So why are you waiting at this point for the one you want?
That's the one we wanted. Yeah, that's the one.
The Raging Bull is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is the one that you flew to Gurney, or you drove to Gurney
One
for.
of the two I wanted to ride.
Okay.
All right, so let's see.
And to put in perspective, Raging Bull is
pretty big.
202 feet tall with a 208-foot drop.
Yeah.
And
so you're going underground then, by quick math, you're going underground.
And speeds of 73 miles per hour.
Here it is.
Okay.
Here it is. This mass of track and death. So we
looks like a water slide, at a park.
We get on this thing.
Real quick, though, Viper was 100 feet tall. So this one was 104 feet taller?
110 feet taller than the first one.
Yes. So we weren't in the front on that, were we?
No, we rode the back row because it's the best spot to sit.
Okay.
Oh, God, that sounds awful. Don't you get the most
whip around? You get whipped around the most. So we sit down in our seats, and instantly I knew, oh, boy. This might be an issue because we're halfway up the hill, and I'm already looking down at the coaster that we were just on. I'm like, okay. heights don't scare me at all.
Yeah.
But when you're going up, you're eventually coming down.
Now, did you consider beforehand? I don't know what happened. This is 100% honestly. I have no idea what happened. Before this roller coaster, did you consider emptying your tanks?
No, because at that point, I still felt perfectly fine.
Okay.
Even when we're riding up going up the first hill, I'm like, I felt fine. At no point did it cross my mind, I'm going to be sick. Because I've always enjoyed roller coasters, never gotten sick after going on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I won't say I have like an iron gut, but like, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me.
So, but to recap, you spent the morning shoveling French toast, sausage links into your belly, taking a 15-minute walk across
But
the
still.
heat, taking a wooden coaster just to really jostle you all together, and then getting on the big one.
Now,
But
one
I'm
more
telling
thing
you,
to
though-
add, though, is that the queue lines to get to these rides are the longest queue lines I've ever seen in my entire life. The line,
Even at this point in the day?
just walking through to not
physical to get through the lines.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but still, at this point, my stomach felt fine. I had no indication.
Up on the top of the first hill.
So we're starting to ride up, and I'm a little bit nervous because of that. You know, that first gut feeling when you go over the top.
Yeah.
Your stomach all of a sudden is like up in your throat, and I'm like, all
You're
right.
smelling syrup.
So if you look at this picture here in the top left, this is the top of the the main hill, and then you do this little drop, probably 8 or 10 feet before you go into the big drop.
That's a 208-footer.
Yep.
Yeah. So we do that first little drop, and I was like, by the way, yeah, make note of that.
Nice one.
31:15, but you have to add 4.
I'll just use the timer that
okay, cool. So we hit that first drop, and I was like, oh boy, okay. You shook me up a bit, but it was like a little fake out by this roller coaster. And then we hit that first drop, and I thought for sure that those waffles and sausage,
Everything was...
it was instant. I was like, oh, this is bad. This is really bad.
So you're on your way down, folks. You're on your way down to the 208.
Yeah, we're on our way down,
and this is when regret hits.
and I grab onto the harness, and I keep my eyes closed for the entire ride because all I'm trying to do is will the food back down into my stomach where it belongs.
Like swallowing, doing
Yeah.
all the
I'm like
second meal of the day.
I'm
Second
like
meal of the day.
I'm like clenching my chest, thinking that if I like clench in, it'll close off the pathway for the vomit.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, woo!
Yeah, Doug's like,
eyes closed, hands up.
Doug's like talking on the phone. He's
Yeah.
like sending a text message.
Doug opens up Periscope, says, "Hey, Steve, say hi."
Smiling for pictures, talking to the people in front of us. I'm just trying not to barf on myself.
Yeah, so if Doug leans over, talks to you, say, "Hey, Steve, how's it going?" If you open your mouth, he may have seen some pancake, at the brink.
Yeah. So the ride finishes. We get off the ride, and I'm really sweating at this point.
He's very white too. He looks
really
very,
sweating,
very white.
and I'm just like, okay. I was like, yeah, that one affected me a bit. Why don't we take a rest for a minute? So Doug says, all right, there's one of those like 3D rides that you go on.
Oh no, this is a terrible decision.
It was air conditioning inside. That's what I was
exactly.
thinking.
He was like, all right, well, this one over here, it's air conditioned. I didn't even realize that it was a 3D ride until we were about to get on the thing.
Yeah.
And there's no drops, there's no loops. You're
It's
on a
the
little
feeling, though.
You're on a track, and you like, oh, let's watch out for so and so. He's trying to shoot you, and then you pull out your gun and you try to shoot them. Well, while you're on the track, then it spins around a couple times.
They give you the whole,
and then it shakes around a lot.
give you the whole nine.
So I'm sitting on that thing, and I don't know if you noticed, but I was holding my gun out. I wasn't pulling the trigger.
I knew when the ride was over that he was not feeling good because the average score was like 150,000. Steve had like 3,000.
So I'm just holding
Steve's shooting the wall. Somewhere there's one of those. Somewhere there's one of those pictures that they take like on
There
Magic
are.
Mountain. Is there?
Yeah.
Is it you, eyes closed, like lips pursed, just shooting the gun in the air like a Wild West, like Yosemite Sam?
Yeah, like rootin' tootin', just firing into the air. So we walked off of that, and I said, all right, there's about to be a problem here. Luckily, we were right across from a bathroom, so I walked over. I was like, I gotta go in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom.
15 minutes later.
Well, I sit down first, thinking maybe I can push it down,
Fix the problem yourself.
Fix it from the end that I'd like to fix it from.
Mm-hmm.
I knew right away that is not happening. Not a chance.
So now you're in limbo.
I'm in the bathroom because at this point I'm off the ride, so I feel a little bit better. I've cooled down a bit. My vision's not blurry anymore.
Right.
I'm just standing there. So I'm standing in the stall like, all right, do I go out? Do I just go out and try to power through this? No. Now when I'm sick, when I know I'm going to throw up, all it takes is one hard cough to get the movement, get everything flowing.
Now, there's a couple schools of thought there. One, some people need the finger down the throat.
No.
Some people, I'd never heard a cough, but like for me, I know if I'm nearing the precipice of having to throw up, the smell of porcelain now does it.
Granted, I'm in an amusement park bathroom.
Yeah.
So it's not going to take much to get the wheels of progress in motion.
Yeah, those bathrooms were pretty gross, by the way, too. It was so hot.
Yeah.
The walls were like sweating.
And the park had been open for like 15 minutes at this point.
So somebody else had gone Viper Raging Bull 3D before you.
Yeah.
Maybe had some similar
I had
Golden Corral. Golden Corral.
When I first walked into the stall, I already had to flush. I had to flush somebody else's
had to get rid of everything. Start anew with your own toilet.
Yeah. Terrible. So I had taken my shirt off.
Hang on. What? What the hell? You're not. I know you're in Gurney. You don't have to act like it,
dude. That's messed up.
I needed. Well, here's the thing. I didn't want to get puke on my shirt, so I thought, well, the less clothes I'm wearing. If I'm not wearing a shirt, I'm not puking on my shirt. So I took my shirt off.
Was it a valuable shirt, or is it now most of the time where you're out and about and you're likely to see you in a 94-1 Z-Rock rockin' hits, rock and roll, free beer and hot wings in the morning shirt?
No. It was just a regular green shirt.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm like, all right, I think I'm good. I think I forced it back down.
Your shirt's off.
My shirt's off.
You got like two hands on the side. You're like,
yeah.
You got a wide stance. You're standing there.
I did the cough. I was like, and I felt kind of like like I dry heaved a little bit. I did like a, but nothing happened. So I was like, all right, man, false alarm, disaster averted. I'm gonna put my shirt back on. So I put my shirt back on.
Did they have a shirt hanger in there for you? Was it just like you slapped it over the top?
The bar. There's like the bar in there.
Oh, so you're in the handicap stall?
No. But all the stalls had the bars in them.
Okay, so you went into an ADA accessible stall. Don't worry. I'll be reporting it to my.
I don't mind you making fun of me for most things, but I was not using the handicap stall.
We've had the talk about you and not being up to ADA code.
That was the old house.
That's still okay. So you put your flip flops back on.
Oh no!
You slide your Mustang tank top back on over your shoulders.
Kyle, though, the whole time he's in there, I'm like waiting for him, and I'm like melting outside because it's a million degrees. He's in at least the air-conditioned, somewhat sweaty, disgusting bathroom, heaving his brains out. Yeah. And there's only one exit out of the bathroom. You come in one side, you come out the other side.
So you're seeing people go in, you're seeing people come out,
and I'm waiting
people
for him.
go
I
in.
just keep glancing. Oh, here comes somebody else, right? All these people are coming out and they're like shaking their head.
So they're walking out, and you're assuming, like you see head shaking. You know that you're like, Steve's currently doing damage, or these people have their own regrets.
Listen, I've known this kid for a long time. He will drop bombs anywhere, anytime.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you're at Six Flags. You've got a shirt off. If you're ever going to do what you have to do, now's the time, right?
Yeah, what am I going to look trashy?
Right. You're in Gurney with a tank top and, slung over the stall wall. It's like when you're in college and you'd tie a sock on the doorknob, but Steve's way of letting someone know this handicap stall was in use
still not
was by slinging his tank top over the front door.
No matter how many times you say it's a handicap stall, it's still not.
Well, my foot says you don't deserve it, sir. That's
I apologize if I occupied your bathroom, special sir. All right, so I put my shirt back on, and I was like, I'm gonna go back out there, and I'm gonna try and power through this, get a drink, like just a couple deep breaths, all the stuff they tell you to do if you feel a little nauseous. I got this, no problem at all. It's probably a combination of the food, the roller coaster. It'll be okay. The heat, yeah. So I put my shirt back on, and I kind of do like a little, like a clearing throat type motion, and then I thought, well, here it comes. Now I'm in the difficult decision.
Do you get the shirt off again?
Do I get the shirt off again? Because if I get the shirt off again, great. I'm not going to puke on the shirt again. But if I don't get the shirt off, I puke inside the shirt.
Doug, let me quickly interject to ask you something. We're all men in our 30s, right?
Apparently, yes.
We've all had issues. We've all thrown up too much drinking, whatever, being sick. At any time, when you're in the restroom at the toilet, have you thrown up on your shirt when you fully intended to throw up in a toilet?
No, but I have a really funny story about that when you're ready, so continue.
I've never, to be clear, I have never thrown up on my shirt either.
Because you take them off. Right. Are you just crossing the T's and dotting the I's? You're like, I don't think I'll throw up on my shirt, but let's be safe.
My wife I don't get mad. I get a little dribble.
I don't want to
get mustard on mine, but Steve,
I don't want to. It's not that I'm worried about it coming out of my mouth and directly on my shirt. For some reason, I'm worried that it's going to hit the toilet with such force that it's going to cause.
You're worried about splashback.
Splashback, yeah.
Sure.
So whether this is justified or not, I don't know. It's just what I do.
You've done it forever.
It's one of my weird quirks. I've done it since college.
So drunk Steve's stumbling home and stumbling into the door.
Drunk Steve
gets
always
naked and throws up.
Yeah,
slapping against the wall, trying to monkey his two arms out of his shirt while he's leaning over a toilet.
Yeah, Philip, here's one for you. Drunk Steve only pukes with his shirt off.
Yeah.
So if you can get us a drawing of that, I would greatly appreciate
the physical representation of you wearing a Ford Mustang tank top, flip-flops, and you've now slung it over the top of the stall to let someone know it's occupied, while Doug's out there watching patrons shake their heads in disgust at this man without a shirt in the handicap bathroom.
Still not in the handicap bathroom. So I clear my throat, and I feel the floodgates.
It's close.
Like I'm holding the door shut, but the water's leaking in.
Yeah.
And at some point, I just have to dive out of the way as that door opens up and the whole room gets flooded.
Yeah. Your own personal Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what a lot of people would refer to that as.
Yeah, I'm a hero.
You're worried about the levees breaking.
Yeah, exactly. I was sandbagging that levee.
You're throwing sandbags on the levee. You're eating French fries, trying to build a wall.
So I decide to go for it. Going to take the shirt off one more time.
So you've got now you know your body better than anybody.
Of course. Fine-tuned machine.
Like if I were to ask you right now, if I were to stopwatch, shirt on to shirt off, standing up, what could you do?
Shirt on to shirt off. I don't know.
3 seconds?
Second and a half, maybe?
Second and a half.
Well, you do
that's
at least 5 seconds.
Well, you do 5 seconds?
Yeah.
What are you, Spider-Man getting dressed? A second and a half is otherworldly.
You reach right hand
over. Okay, the stopwatch is up. Who's doing it?
I'm not going to do it because I have massive body shame.
I'll step out of the way of the camera. Step over there. I'll play-by-play it.
But, so... Well, first of all, 5 seconds. Hit the timer. Tell me when you start and when you get to 5 seconds.
Okay, so this is what this podcast is now. We're literally counting 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go. Stop.
If it takes you that long to take your shirt off...
That's not that long. You're talking 2 full arms.
Listen,
but you're going 2 arms at once. So you're going inside out. You're ripping it off, throwing it at a wall.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
listen, remember, you're not feeling well. The floodgates are coming. You've sweated through your shirt, so it's sticking to you like a mat.
No,
you have extreme body shame. You know, all that plays into effect.
At least you got room in the handicap stall.
Still?
So you're not worried about your elbows banging into the sides. I think a safe number is 3.5 to 5. I think you saying second and a half is like when Superman went into the phone booth and it spun around and he came out as Clark, or the other way around.
All right. Well, at some point I will do it. I will time it. and I will send it to you.
Okay. Have Annette do it.
All right. I can do that.
Yeah,
All right,
I mean,
adjusting
I'll
the mic.
believe her. I think she'd be willing to throw you under the bus if it takes you like
Oh, she definitely would.
18 seconds and your
Yeah.
foot's in the air
1
and you're
minute and 37 seconds later.
yeah, and Steve's disrobed.
Somehow,
We said your shirt, not your pants.
Somehow I sprained my ankle.
Yeah, right. Steve's gonna have a black eye and a popped shoulder from,
So there I am, in the thick of it.
and you're doing it.
It's gonna happen.
Shirt's off, coming off.
Shirt is coming off.
In a second.
So I do the hand over, grab the back of the shirt, one quick motion, pull the shirt off. As that shirt is passing by my mouth, the vomit is coming out of the mouth. And I don't want to get too graphic. I mean, saying I threw up isn't that graphic, but it was...
He threw up.
The food was still warm. I mean, it was...
It had been percolating in your stomach sterno heater for about 3 hours and then jostled
Dude.
together like a nice gumbo on the Raging Bull.
Dude, it was like... I barfed and it was just like glop, glop, glop. Like it wasn't a stream. It was just, oh, here's one mouthful. Here's another mouthful.
So it's coming out French toast.
Yeah.
Sausage.
Oh, there's the eggs.
Yeah. Mix of eggs and sausage. Yeah, okay.
So, and when I throw up, like when I'm sick, when I have a stomach ache, if I'm too drunk or whatever, and I throw up, I don't know about you, but for me, it is instantaneous relief. I immediately, like, once I spit a couple times to get the last, couple of glops out, once I clean myself up a bit, splash some cold water in my face,
Put his shirt back on. Yeah.
I instantly feel like, cool, I feel great now. Like nothing had happened. So, walk out of the bathroom.
15 minutes later.
15 minutes later, I find Doug. I was like, I just threw up in there. So Doug, being the avid coaster fan he is, says, all right, so you want to go on another one?
So I apologize, you're 36.
37.
You turned 37 in May.
Yeah.
You took your shirt off in a public restroom.
ADA back.
ADA stall in a
Nope.
public
Still
restroom
not.
to force yourself to vomit
Yeah.
after overeating breakfast.
I don't think I had much, I didn't sway my body one way or the other.
It was happening.
That food was, I'm still convinced, because when we were eating that food, I wasn't overly impressed with the quality.
You paid $9
I
for
did.
all you could eat.
I know.
What did you expect?
I didn't expect that.
You wanted an International House of Pancake, and they did not have one in Gurnee, Illinois.
So it was, I can strongly say that food probably would have come up eventually one way or the other.
Right.
There was a heavy night of drinking before that as well,
There was
which
a very heavy night of
Which
drinking.
that's not your thing anymore.
not at
like
all.
you haven't drank heavily
No.
in probably since your wedding, maybe after
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Jamaica, Jamaica probably.
This was since our honeymoon. This was the first time I had alcohol 2 days in a row.
right, and
Again.
we know
welcome.
how Steve gets when he gets drinking. He starts buying garage door openers on Amazon.
Well, he threw it in early. Like, I stayed after he left. But, yeah, he was like, oh, it's 9:30, gotta go to bed.
I was beat. Yeah, Friday night when we first got there,
Yeah.
we went to the place across the street.
You worked?
I worked. Didn't nap that day. Plus, you got the 1 hour time difference.
Yep.
So it was 9:30, but it was actually my 10:30. Which, if I don't take a nap, I am dead.
Done
at
by
that
the time,
point. I'm
yeah.
not. I won't even try to make an excuse. I was just dead tired. So we sat down at the bar, and I had like 3 double Crown and Sprites.
And they were strong because I was there the
They were
night
strong as
before.
hell.
So you're going to
Dipping
get
that
your, doing it
bartender
all
really
at
well.
once.
Yeah. So I woke up that morning already feeling a little like, ooh boy, you're too old for this there, fella. You got to back off a bit. So yeah, obviously walked over, did the whole Six Flags thing, barfed after 3 rides, walked out, and
We did go on one more coaster. He's like, I think I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
Doug,
Let's go.
Doug was like, all right, I'm going to go on this other coaster, and I'm like, I'm in.
Is that the 2 you came there for?
No, it was the next closest one, the Demon.
So we went on the Demon. So we get on the Demon.
Rip roaring time.
And I think we're we had just gone over the first hill, and I just looked at Doug and I said, like, we're in the middle of
Can I go home?
We're in the middle of like the loop, and I'm just like, this was a poor decision. And then it does like a side to side, and it's got a loop and a spiral.
It's really messing with your body.
And the whole time I'm just talking to Doug as if we're not because normally you're on a roller coaster, you're like, this is so much fun. And we're going through loops, and I'm just like, hey man, this wasn't a good idea for me. I don't think I'm going to want to go on any more roller coasters.
Oh, from walk in to now, how long had you been at Six Flags?
An hour, maybe.
I don't even think that. I think 45 minutes.
But we
maybe.
did stay a little longer. We walked around. I did one more coaster that I wanted to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I basically, stood there and held the purse. And
oh, you're me.
yeah, I'll take pictures of you.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Now, if you were... So, I don't know. I'd never been. Was there anything else you could have made your time worthwhile? Maybe a different ride that wouldn't have totally
there's
jostled
a water
your
park
inside?
there.
Okay.
There's a water park there.
You could have thrown up in there.
We thought of going to that, but actually we have to backtrack a bit to
My
tell you.
thrifty
No. So, Doug had said that the night before when I got there, Doug was like, "Hey man, I tried to buy you a ticket online, but something didn't work out. So we'll figure it out in the morning." I'm like, all right, cool. So normally that park is $77 to get into for the day, which
Extremely overpriced.
yeah, it's crazy overpriced. Now Doug's got a season pass for Six Flags, so
that works around the country.
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
And we got to eat for free there.
So one ticket, two, you pay for two?
No, I did a little research. Wait, do you wait?
yeah. So Doug does some research.
Oh,
He's
my
like,
God. So you've already taken at a Super 7 or whatever knockoff you guys are, off the beaten path that they
was a
changed
quick
the
and
color
cheap trip.
to get rid of the copyright. And now you've got this cockamamie plan to get Steve in, sneak under a fence that you saw on Google Maps
Did you
or
call
what?
him and tell him that?
so Doug says, "Don't worry, I found a." Oh boy, he goes, "Don't worry."
This is the return.
He says, "I found a promo code." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Maybe they're doing buy one get one or something like that, or it's the August sale." I don't know. So he tells me the next day. He goes, "Yeah, I found." Today's homeschool day, and you can get the homeschool discount.
How do you prove you're homeschooled?
Exactly.
So-
you don't.
I tried to
Your
buy the
big
ticket,
idea.
and when I used my credit card, I used my it asked for a billing address, and I used my zip code, and it wouldn't let me do it. I guess because I live too far away in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I put the hotel's address, and he paid $37 for 45 minutes of unpleasurable riding.
$37.
$37.
Opposed to 40.
So
77.
I went on 4 rides. So I paid $9.25 for each of those rides.
But it would have been 47.
No, it
No,
would have been 77.
77, sorry, had you not gotten the homeschool discount.
Yeah.
So we get in there, and you know how they take your picture? They have the guys there when you first come in, they take your picture.
Yeah, they have a green screen or anything behind
they
there?
have They have a beautiful 2-story carousel, though, that's like one of 2 in the country.
Sure, so dads and mothers with kids.
Yeah. So me and him line up, and we're
So
like, yo, we want to get our picture taken, right? But we want an action shot, right?
Sweet.
And
Jump.
This is before he gets sick. But we're all sweaty. We
Yeah, I
just
would
walk
hope so.
forever on the surface of the sun to get here. And we do this action shot, and the guy takes our picture, and he's like the happiest he's been all day because nobody wanted to do.
In the 15 minutes that he's been there since the park opened.
Everybody else was like, yeah, I guess you can take my picture. And we're like, hey, take our picture. Take our picture.
So after the 4th ride, at this point, I'm feeling like I'm going to barf again. I didn't want to leave yet because I don't want to completely ruin Doug's day, too.
It's okay.
So we thought, we'll just go to the water park. Get a couple beach chairs, hang out.
Did you wear your bathing suit?
No, of course not. But
Did you bring your bathing suit? You're just
No.
across the parking lot?
No. I could have gone back and gotten shorts and been that guy.
So what'd you do? Did you go to the gift shop and pay
Oh,
$35 for a towel?
No. Didn't even get to that point. 'Cause apparently the homeschool discount doesn't include entry into the water park, too.
Oh, okay. So you'd had to pay extra. And as Doug mentioned, this was a vacation on a budget.
Yeah, we just turned around. We were like, screw that. So we turned around. We walked around the park a bit more. Doug tried an Italian beef sandwich.
Delicious, by the way. Absolutely delicious.
A Six Flags Italian beef
I
sandwich.
have
You're
the
going to
meal
rave
pl-
about that?
Hey, I got the meal plan. It costs for free, so...
Are you trying? It's not even a humble brag. You're bragging about a nationwide.
Hey, I'm from New
Six
Jersey.
Flags.
Back off.
Hey, of course I got the meal plan. I'm from New Jersey.
Hey, yo.
Hey, what are you saying there, eh? Hey, Louie, shut this guy up right now. Shut him up.
So that was our trip, our big trip to Six Flags. We were back at the hotel by like 1 p.m.
And you stayed another night.
Yeah, so we hung out in the
So you
hotel
had
for
about
a couple
10
hours.
hours of nothing.
Yeah.
Because the park trip took you 80% less time than you anticipated.
In my mind, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna get there at like 10, 11 o'clock. Probably stay until 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
No, we got there at 11 o'clock.
That was
and
not in
left
the
at
cards.
11:45.
It was not in the cards. So, yeah. Other than that, we went out drinking that night, and
Felt better?
We had
felt great. Yeah, I
It's
did.
just that you'd had to expunge the demons at the start.
yeah,
Demons
yeah.
of the Golden Corral.
and they were bad. They were
What
really bad.
how does it compare, Steve? Now, anybody listening to this that hasn't before, Steve and I took a whirlwind trip to Boston 1 year ago.
Was it on a budget?
Oh, budget, my friend, would be for what we spent to get to and from Boston. We spent on the ground in Boston 12 hours.
Yeah, we flew there in the morning and flew back in the afternoon.
Yep, we were home. We
So-
left our town at 3 a.m. We arrived back in town at 3 a.m. That was
Yeah.
2 flights and an entire day in Boston included.
We didn't even have the option for it to not be budget because we weren't going to be doing anything that.
Yeah, we weren't staying in a hotel. We had some Ubers. That was
Yeah.
it. But on the way home, so we spent the day. We had just a ton of drinks.
Oh man,
We had a lunch at an Irish pub. We had a cannoli at a nice cannoli place in Boston.
Yeah.
And then we finished up after a long day. I want to say it was Zach or somebody was very kind enough to get us tickets to tour Harpoon Brewery, which is
Yeah.
the very first microbrewery in Massachusetts. So we tour it. There's beer tastings. I'm full. I'm tasting them, but I'm not loving it because my stomach is about to explode.
I'm just filled
Yeah.
with food, with beer,
Yep,
with other
everything.
drinks, with cannolis. All I want to do is like sit down somewhere.
Yep. So we go to the airport for our flight back, Doug. We sit in the airport for an hour and a half. We take the quick jot back to Detroit,
Oh,
Michigan.
that's right. Yeah, we flew back to Detroit, which is 2.5 hours from here.
And I was going to drive home.
We landed at, I think, midnight.
Yeah, it was like 11:59 p.m., so I was going to drive us home. We walked to the parking lot. Steve immediately kicks the chair back. He's going to go to sleep.
I brought my pillow.
He was done.
I brought a pillow in the car. Because,
So we're a half hour in, and I'm pulling my cheek. I'm doing anything I can because I'm about to fall asleep. Well, about 30 minutes later, I see Steve rustling. He's on his side. He's on his back.
couldn't get comfortable.
And finally, we're about we're a little over halfway home.
What car were you in? Were you in?
Your car, I think.
Was it my car?
Yeah,
What,
it
kind
was
of,
your
what,
car.
what kind of vehicle?
Ford
was that?
Fusion.
Ford Fusion.
Ford Fusion.
So would you say
Comfortable
that
sedan.
Would you say that the passenger seat in the Ford Fusion is as comfortable as a bed at the Super 8 in Gurney?
Oh boy, the bed at the Super 8 was okay.
It was okay for
Yeah,
you?
it was all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's an upset.
I mean, not great, but I'm not going to write in my diary about it. But
Well, Doug's leaving a trip. He said he has a TripAdvisor journal
Yes, I do.
that he's, recording. I don't know why he's keeping them by hand and then typing them in later. I respect it. So we get just over halfway home, and finally you're laying on your back, and you just sit. Whoom, chair
Straight up.
comes flying up, and I was like, "You all right?" Okay, you go, "Nope." And I said, "You need me to stop somewhere?" Yep. I pull over. You briskly
shuffle
into the gas station, and minutes later when you come out, I get like a beef jerky. And I bought caffeine pills because I legitimately didn't know if we were going to make it the other 90 minutes to home. I bought caffeine tablets, a beef jerky,
Yeah, like
and like a 68-ounce soda to sit in the cup holder. And Steve comes out and goes, "Yeah, I definitely just threw up in that bathroom."
Check another one across the country.
Yeah, so you can't control anytime you travel, you just can't help yourself and plan accordingly, and next thing you know, you're vomiting. Now, granted, a cannoli mixed with your lunch, mixed with beer, mixed with whatever is a bad decision.
You know something? I don't regret it because that cannoli was so good.
Yeah. It was well worth it. That was a great cannoli.
Exactly. For like the 2.5 hours that it was in my stomach, I was very happy.
Yeah.
Right up until the last minute.
So I'm having poverty dinner, and Steve's fresh out of vomit.
So you're on a budget, man.
Yeah,
you're on a budget.
So this guy, you can't help yourself. You have a track record now.
Yeah.
So were you on so much of a budget, though, that like before you left here, you took stuff out of your car so the weight of your vehicle
Oh, no. God, no.
would be less?
No,
and
and
you
it
could
wasn't
get better gas mileage?
It wasn't even on a budget. It happened because I was off work with my torn Achilles last year, Doug, and I was watching Cheers, and I was looking to take literally any type of trip because I didn't have any vacation, like leaving the house or anything. And I believe offhanded during a podcast taping, I mentioned to Steve, said, man, I found this flight out of Detroit to Boston. I could go see the Cheers bar, could do it, and it's super cheap. It's so cheap.
Fly Frontier.
It was one of those budget airlines.
Yeah.
So
Spirit.
Never again.
Yeah, I hear that.
So we
don't even have. Yeah.
within a week, I'm texting Steve with, "Hey, are you for real? I know you mentioned this. If you want to do it, let's do it." And so we book our flights, and that's how it came. So it wasn't like the reason it happened was it was very affordable, but I didn't go in there thinking like, well, I'm not going to spend any money. And sure enough, I came in with a $60 Cheers sign and a Cliff bobblehead. A $60 Cheers sign, mind you.
Was Cliff the mailman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuffed into my backpack that didn't fit because I didn't want to pay for an extra piece of baggage on Spirit.
So you sound like you took a trip to Boston like I took a trip to Gurnee, Illinois. Except I stayed on the ground a little bit more and
A
drank.
little bit, yeah, like 5 times as long.
I mean, I
was waiting for you to show up, dude. You were my ride.
We had 12 hours.
I didn't
12 hours in Boston.
I didn't Google like private school discounts at the Cheers bar, so I don't know if I'm quite in the class of telling me
guys, it's amputee day at
that
Cheers.
this guy who's
Stuff your arm in your shirt.
this guy who's 36 or 37 at the time, but 36 when we went.
One beer, please.
I wasn't quite at the point
That's why he's used to using those
searching for Facebook deals so we could save $1 on a beer.
Listen, I went on their website to look at tickets, and I was like, oh, I wonder what events are going on. And they had the event, and it had a discount ticket. And you know what? I would have paid the full $77 to see him toss his marbles after riding a couple things.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would have done the same thing, honestly, especially if they make you prove it in no way. Like, what are they going to tell me? I'm not homeschooled. I guess I go to the Christian Family Science Learning Center.
What makes you feel worse, though? Let's say they let you in, but they let you in. It's whoever's working at Six Flags. So what are they, 19 working there for the summer?
Yeah. Leave Janet alone.
And you're going, I'm homeschooled. And so this 19-year-old kid stares at you while handing you a ticket and just shaking his head. You comfortable doing that still?
Yeah.
To save a few bucks?
I have zero guilt from that. First of all, because Doug has, it was just, the ticket was on his phone. So you just scan the phone. They don't look at it. They don't know what. All they know is that they scanned it. It says you can get into the park. Mm-hmm. But nowhere on there. Actually, it probably did say.
It did have the homeschool promotion at the top, but they don't look at it.
Do you think that anyone there actually cares? This is a victimless crime. Victimless.
Listen,
crime.
Do you think he's the only one that had that happen? Like, do that
at age 37?
I definitely don't.
Hey, leave him out of this. I bought the ticket. Okay.
Yeah,
I did.
How old are you, Doug?
37.
So it works either way. Yes, I do think you were the only two 37-year-old men who thought to scam.
What are you,
who thought to
crazy?
Scam the homeschool promotion?
Are you crazy?
They can tell.
There's no chance that we were the only two 37-year-olds.
If you put me in a gymnasium with 400 people, and let's say 399 of those people are public school kids, and one's a homeschool kid,
yeah,
I'll pick the homeschool kid out in less than a minute. I think you two were like trying to sneak into a movie theater by standing on each other's shoulders in trench coats.
Well, it's not like they make us wear a sandwich board that says, I'm homeschooled.
You don't see all. I hope you're happy.
We were very happy. We have a great story.
I'm quite happy.
I hope, because I think you would have stood out like sore thumbs had somebody.
I'm not gonna lie, we were probably the two best looking guys there. There was
that's the least surprising thing ever.
Yeah, that is a rough looking crowd.
Well, it's Gurney. I mean, you could say that about anywhere though. Now you're a roller coaster guy, so you've obviously been to Cedar Point.
Yes, I have.
And it's Sandusky, Ohio. Outside of Orlando, they're not really in major towns. I mean, didn't they even put Disneyland in Anaheim?
Yeah. But Cedar Point is a destination park. Gurney, Illinois, Six Flags America, Great America is not a destination park.
Is it a small park?
It's smaller, but it's not.
How's it compared to other Six Flags? I've never been to Six Flags.
Oh, well, you're not missing much.
Outside of a few random raging bulls and demons and bleeding vipers and
flying barf.
Yeah.
They should name a coaster that.
Flying barf.
I think Riley has done that on his iPad playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. Barf ride or something like
flying
that.
Barf.
If you were to sum it up, both of you, with differing expectations. Now, Doug, you made the trip for these roller coasters specifically. Steve made the trip for camaraderie and vomit.
I have some in a jar. We are auctioning that off. Good cause.
Was it worth it on both fronts for both of you
10
to
out of
go
10.
do it? 10 out of 10. You got 3 coasters and a vomit with your shirt off.
I got 3 coasters, 4 rides total.
4 rides.
Don't forget the 3D
Justice League ride.
Snoopy ride or whatever.
Yeah.
We took him over to Kid Palooza and he was having a blast. They had slides and stuff.
Shoot the duck hunt. Whatever, like the NES light guns.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, I'm happy for you. That's 2 37-year-old men imitating homeschoolers.
Yeah.
I had a season pass. I did not imitate a homeschooler.
You're okay.
Yeah.
But you did. But you're pretty culpable in the idea that you did buy that for him.
Accomplice. Well, actually, I'm an accomplice to his crime. He's the one that bought the ticket.
Is that what it takes to get homeschoolers out of the house now? Is literally half off the Six Flags ticket?
That or they had to pull the plug on Fortnite.
What do we think the homeschool population surrounding Gurney is?
I think it covers Michigan, Wisconsin, and for the promotion.
Oh,
if you were to guess a percentage though, like how many people?
10%.
Let's say in the country, public school, private school, those both combined. Compare. What do you think the homeschooling percentage is?
Oh, I bet it's single digits. 3% maybe.
I'm gonna say 9%.
What are you gonna say? Lock it in now. For the results.
I'd guess 6. Okay, let's see.
3, 6, and 9.
Homeschool percentage in the USA. I'll type search. 3.4.
Wow.
2 million students.
Huh. All right.
And those within surrounding areas of Gurney. Safe to say, probably in the thousands total.
Yeah.
Probably hundreds.
So this promotion was really
very focused.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're running a discount for left-handed folks who are missing their third finger at the first knuckle after 6 p.m. Come on out.
You get in for just 99% of the original price.
Yeah. Whatever. Okay, I'm glad you enjoyed it. So Doug, you've got a checklist, I'm sure, of roller coasters. What's the next destination?
I don't know.
Okay, have you done West Coast, or is there an area you're missing?
Yeah, West Coast.
It's tough to get out there from where you're at.
Yes, it is. I was going to leapfrog from Atlanta to San Antonio and then out to...
That's not a leapfrog, friend. That's like a whole other destination. That's a hike, isn't it?
Yeah, but you fly... That was my original plan.
Okay, and this is the ones that fell apart.
Yeah, and then I decided to go to Atlanta for...
You couldn't get the homeschool discount?
When plans fall apart, you end up in Gurney.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I needed a gurney.
Yeah. Doug had all the plans figured out for Atlanta, fly to San Antonio, but they wouldn't honor the homeschool promotion. So he wouldn't
next
handle
trip,
it.
I think I'm going to go down to Dollywood. That's Dolly Parton's Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
going to go there.
Nashville?
Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Pigeon Forge. What is this? So are you working off a top 10 list? You working off a top 100 list?
I'm just fascinated with the structures and how they're built. And
you're admiring them from a top. While you're on them, while Steve's holding on for dear life,
barfing off,
hoping it ends within the next 30 seconds. So are you changing now, though, Steve? Are you a guy at 37? Are you thinking your roller coaster days are approaching the rear view?
Man, before this trip, I probably hadn't been on a roller coaster in 8 or 9 years, maybe.
When you moved out here.
And the last time I was on one, I had no problems whatsoever that I can remember. So I was really disappointed when I got off that ride, and I felt so terrible. I think I'm still going to try it again. I think I just have to make smarter food decisions. You're willing to smarter alcohol decisions the night before.
You're willing to put the majority of the blame
on the Golden Corral
on the food.
I don't know about majority, but it's getting 49%.
Okay, but there's a fear though. Maybe you're too old.
There is. It's really disappointing.
Now, Doug, the oldest daughter going on the trips with you going forward?
We did a trip. It was either last year or the year before. We went up to Massachusetts, Six Flags New England up there. She had a great time. We stopped at Coney Island on the way home. Got a couple coasters under her count. And, maybe next year we'll bring her.
All right. Is there a question for both of you? Now, you're both, I don't know if you've heard, I think you're both from New Jersey.
Of course I'm from New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey.
What question is that?
What did they ever do with that roller coaster? Oh, no, that was a Ferris wheel. I'm sorry. I thought it was part of a roller coaster that went in the ocean.
It did. They told
during the hurricane.
It's
it went in the ocean.
So it's not rideable anymore?
They
didn't patch that thing up?
There's just an underground or an underwater portion of it now.
You think someone would patch that up? Really put that ride back together.
Yeah, that was the Seaside. What roller coaster was that?
Seaside.
You let the sharks take that and finish it off, bring it out to sea.
No, that thing sat in the water for months, though.
It did, because it was like one of those iconic images, where you'd see the shoreline, you'd see the roller coaster out there, and geez.
I remember right after that, some guy. Actually, I think a few people got in trouble because they swam out.
Oh, yeah, and went to the top, right?
And climbed up to the top.
It's like, it's totally different degrees, but that's something you just leave alone.
No, you're from New Jersey, man.
Hey, leave it alone. I'm from New Jersey. What do you mean?
Hey, yo.
That's like, I think it was a couple years ago. Do you see those pictures of the guy who there must not be ropes or anything because he just climbed the pyramids in Egypt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
but they're like blocks, though. I mean, they're
right. No, I'm not doubting that, but it's just the ability that he could even get close enough to do that. Because you go to some place that's like the Empire State Building, and for God's sake, if you don't stand within your 3-foot ropes while you're buying a ticket, you've got a security guard yelling at you. Now, granted, it's a massive town. I don't know how hopping the Gaza tour industry, or not wherever it is, tourist industry is over there.
Now, did you ever see the image? Because when you think of the pyramids, you think, oh man, they're out in the middle of nowhere, out in like the desert. Did you ever see this image of them where you're...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you realize it's like right next to it, there's like a Starbucks. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
I have not.
What is it? Cairo, I guess?
Yeah, something like that. Folks, if you can't see this, but you should definitely...
Giza?
Yeah, just
Giza.
Oh, yeah, Giza.
Just Google the pyramids here.
Yeah, I just Googled like the pyramids from above.
Wow.
So it's like Central Park...
Pretty much, yeah.
Is the pyramids, and then the city.
It's insane. But yeah, I remember that video. The guy just climbed right up.
Yeah, that's nuts to me.
Didn't take him very long either.
So a lot of people want to see those. The wonders of the world. Mm-hmm. Doug, you're roller coaster hunting. Steve and I were traveling to visit the Cheers board. Boy, aren't we just a set of idiots?
Yeah. I mean,
hey, speak for yourself, man. Come on.
There's sites around the world people are dying to see, and we're flying to a bar that a TV show was based on for 12 hours.
Yeah, I heard there's a Pizza Hut in Denver that has 3 doors on the back.
I had a fleeting thought that I didn't do, but I had a fleeting thought that I kind of want to go see the last Blockbuster in Bend, Oregon. Why?
Did you ever see that movie Airborne?
I don't think so.
Who was in that movie?
No one. It was some redheaded kid.
That was Seth Green was in that.
Seth Green, yeah.
Yes, but the
It's
star
already got some quality behind it then. Hit me with some details.
Yeah, considering we couldn't even remember. The most we knew was it's a redhead guy.
But
he wasn't the star of the show or the movie. The rules are no rules.
Right.
Yeah, right. Steve was so obsessed with this movie that we were going to go to the Devil's Backbone.
It was
it was a rollerblade. So 1993.
Yeah, it was fruit booting.
1993.
This is prime fruit booting.
So
time.
it's 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or 25 years ago.
Go ahead and read the plot.
So you're 11. Maybe this will bring it back. Look at that poster.
Dude, that is
If that gets
badass.
made today,
we all get beat up.
nobody's seeing that. That's
All right. Can
So
you pull up, like,
the big thing on the poster was Mitchell became the most popular guy on earth once he took to the sky.
Can you pull up the the synopsis of that movie?
IMDb.
Yeah, it just went away. But the Airborne film, 1993 American comedy centered on inline skating.
Comedy? That
was a drama.
Comedy drama. Sorry, how dare I disrespect the sanctity of this movie? Unknown Jack Black in the movie.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
that's right,
it.
yeah.
Augie.
No, it was
Augie. He was the goalie.
Chocolate stained plane.
So it also it was starring Shane McDermott,
That's
who
the
is
guy.
so popular he literally doesn't have a Wikipedia. Like he doesn't have a link if you try to click Shane McDermott, it doesn't exist.
All right.
Do you have the synopsis here?
Well, I have the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Ooh, let me guess. I didn't see it.
Guess. Yeah, you got to guess, Doug.
Oh, 5.
Yeah.
You know what? It's because it's going to be a compilation of reviews made now for the movie, like on release.
Yeah, now we're not talking audience score.
Sure.
Talking.
Oh, wow. That's pretty high.
Critic score, I'm going to go 18.
You're close. 29.
Oh, that's 18 points too high. I was being generous with 18. So,
All right.
the summary is Mitchell Goosen is 16/17-year-old kid
Dude, that dude was like 35 in the movie.
from California who loves to surf and rollerblade. His parents are two zoologists. Were given a grant to work in Australia. The only problem, Mitchell can't go with them.
Oh, no.
Well, you're two parents. You just don't go.
Right.
This movie is done in the first 30 minutes. Well, sorry. If the
Doesn't
kid
happen.
can't come, my child must come with me. So he gets to stay with his aunt, uncle, and cousin in the hot rockin' town of Cincinnati, Ohio. When he arrives, he meets his cousin, who's his new roommate for the next 6 months,
That's Seth
Wiley.
Green. Yep,
Yeah,
Seth Green.
Seth
Mitchell goes to school, gets on the bad side of the high school hockey players. Mitchell and Wiley end up enduring weeks of torture. Then the big guys and Mitchell and Wiley have to learn to get along to beat the Central High School rivals in a competition down Devil's Backbone. Is this an inline skating race?
It's a race
awesome.
down a hill.
And so Devil's Backbone is real?
The last guy to walk
well.
up Bevel's backbone, I saw him.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the movie, it's a very real thing, and so it's a race that takes about 7/8 of the movie to complete.
It's like they went around the country and found the steepest hills and just filmed a part of it on that hill. Then went to the next one and
Found
edited
just kept
together.
finding different hills.
Yeah.
One has some snow off to the side. The other's
Yeah.
a palm tree.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not a lot of attention to detail.
Is this on Netflix? Is this possible? 'Cause
I hope
I'm
not.
going to watch it.
The last time I took a Netflix recommendation from Steve,
This is a recommendation from me, Kyle. It's totally
that's a
different.
good point. That
What was
it
that?
actually matters.
What
It
was
was
the
The Money Pit.
That's a great movie.
That is
They're
okay.
from New Jersey, dude.
I know. That's why, and that's what I was just going to say. It must be a Jersey thing because that was one of the worst things I've ever seen.
You bite your tongue. That is when Tom Hanks passes away. That will be
You think Money Pit's
that'll
getting
be one
mentioned?
of the 5 that they mentioned.
So in your mind, the AP, the day Tom Hanks passed away, it's going to go Tom Hanks, star of blank,
Forrest Gump,
Apollo
Gen A.
13, Apollo 13,
Castaway,
Castaway,
Castaway, of course, yeah.
and the Money Pit passes away at age whatever. You think that's on the header?
What is the score
I'll put money on it right now.
of The Money Pit on Rotten
Oh,
Tomatoes?
I think we talked about this too. And you know what? I probably didn't give it a fully fair shake, mainly because Shelley Long is the devil, and I hate her with every fiber of my being.
Oh boy, the Money Pit.
Let me guess. I think it's going to be like 36.
I'm going to go up into the high 40s.
High 40. Wow. You gave a rave review of it saying it's awesome, then said you think it's going to be in the 40s.
High 40s.
47.
47% of people
Yeah.
looked at that in hindsight and said, we got a winner.
It's a great movie. I mean,
maybe Kyle just didn't understand it.
look, it's.
Maybe I should give it a
Anytime you
rewatch.
get
know?
a movie written by Richard Benjamin, you know you got a winner on your
You
hands.
get a Dickie Benj movie. That's something you put at
Wait
the
a
top
minute,
of the
hold
queue.
on. It was written by somebody named Babalu Mandel.
Oh, okay. It was written by like a script writing software that they just.
Oh boy,
Okay.
that's a great movie though. Great movie.
I'm just kind of curious. I'm trying to figure out what else. Richard Benjamin
Well, yeah, I'll
maybe
click on
wrote.
it.
Now, is this how maybe the Money Pit house, Steve, for you is like the Cheers bar for me? Maybe it's something you need to go visit, like the Brady Bunch
Yeah,
house.
it's like
It's very popular.
My Valhalla.
Richard Benjamin, American actor and director, starred in a number of well-known film productions, including Goodbye Columbus. That's a
I got that on DVD.
one. Yeah. After let's see what he's directed, because maybe the Money Pit was it for him.
Boy, man, this guy has a ton.
Look at this. House of Wax. Is that the
95%.
original?
95%.
Is that the original House of Wax?
Good.
Well, if he didn't direct the original. He directed one with Paris Hilton, and he deserves every bit of ridicule he gets.
That was the original House of Wax guy.
Yeah.
95% on that movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Directing filmography.
Boy, 2000.
Oh, Made in America.
2003's Marcy X clocking in at 9%.
Oh.
Box office,
He either
$1.6 million.
It
Whoa.
seems like he's I think he's retired.
He did Made in America?
He hasn't done anything since 2014, but the movie he did in 2014, Magician: The Astonishing Life and Work of Orson Welles, 73%.
Here's what I just did. I confused Made in America with what was the Coming to America?
Yes.
So I clicked on Made in America. Is this a movie you'd ever watch with Cowboy Ted Danson and Whoopi Goldberg?
Ted Danson, yes.
Wait, wasn't there one with J-Lo, Made in America, where she... but it was
M-A-I-D.
M-A-I-D-E.
Yeah, and the rich man wanted to marry the maid because, he didn't
So it
love...
was basically like a little modern twist on... what was the movie with the prostitute? The redheaded
Pretty Woman.
prostitute.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, except Jennifer Lopez didn't sell her body for sex.
Yeah, but still.
She cleaned hotel
Changed
rooms
the sheets
to pay
and
the bills.
Scrub the toilets.
Worked in paid, got a W-2. Again, important to remember, didn't sell her body for
She
sex.
was still like
Yeah.
the rich man fell in love with the
Yeah.
like gutter people. No?
Okay.
Am I off?
So,
Am I-
so if you're in the service industry, it's important to recognize what Steve now thinks of you.
You are a gutter person. He uses the ADA bathroom.
Yeah, this
discounts.
isn't new though. This is weeks after a slip of the tongue had him telling us that he wouldn't mingle with the poor people of Jamaica, and now he's calling maids and service people, which they probably don't prefer maids anymore, right? What
No,
is that?
probably not.
Turn down staff, housekeeping.
Housekeeping, yeah.
You called them a maid, and then you said they're gutter people.
It was a slip of the tongue, I think.
Yeah.
We had lunch today at the Hoppy Cat, and I think his
Hopcat,
Hopcat,
yeah.
the bacon had a little bourbon on it, and
Got a little loose tongue.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bourbon on the bacon brings out the demeaning tongue in
Yeah.
Steve from New Jersey.
Boy, we are nearly an hour and a half in.
and we haven't even talked about any of your past yet.
Yeah. I don't think I think right off the bat, well, right off the bat as we can get for 90 minutes in.
Sure.
We're not getting to the Fast Five today.
How dare you? I
know.
prepared one.
I almost have 5 too. So we'll probably
My hard labor should
But-
not fall by the wayside because of your need for emergency.
Well, how about this? We'll talk about the Fast Five, but in a completely unrelated way, which I texted you about last week. The Fast Five is under attack.
oh my God, do we have a problem?
The Fast Five, the staple on this podcast.
So maybe
for-
you have an update for me.
for
So
2 years.
since its inception, well, probably episode 1.
It was within the first 10 episodes.
Yes.
Fast Five is under attack, folks. And it's going to take all of us working as a team to keep this a Steve and Kyle podcast original, or we will have to start getting royalties for the naming.
Yeah. Now maybe if it comes to it, I know a patent lawyer. Okay.
Good.
Spent some time with him this weekend. If legal recourse is the way we're going to have to do this, Steve, then so be it. Because I had the text you sent me last week was highly concerning.
Last week after the radio show, we were talking about some upcoming stuff for the radio show. Talking about switching a few things around, doing certain segments a little differently. Mm-hmm. And
Spice it up.
One of them, Free Beer suggested that we do a new contest, and we call it the Fast Five. I said, and at first I just I looked and I was like, good one. Then I realized that it wasn't a joke and that he thought that he came up with that title, but he obviously just stole it from the Steve and Kyle podcast. So I was like, we already do that. We've been doing it for 2 years on the podcast. So you come up with that on your own, or maybe we got a closet listener on our hands here.
We've had I can't even count the instances, because we've had overtures, someone making offhanded comments about how they want their studio sponsored by Amazon.
Yeah, we should call our studio the Amazon Prime Studio,
which is like minute one, day one, Steve and Kyle podcast. Yeah. I know there was at least one or two other instances.
There was something about History of the Mystery.
Yep, which that is a staple, which we don't. I don't think we have time. Sorry, ask Robbie Mack. I don't know if you saw our Twitter, Steve. The very first episode of History of the Mystery has been recorded.
Really?
And it's been posted to YouTube.
Okay, I look forward to
by Ask Robbie Mack. We'll play that audio next week. It's probably, and you're going to be surprised, it's a little too long. It clocks in a little under 2 minutes.
Oh, boy, that is way too long.
You need to cut it in half, Ask Robbie Mack. You got a week to recut that and get it back to
actually,
us.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it as
We'll play it. But a minute, in fairness, a minute of it is intro music.
Oh, okay.
So, it really flows well.
Did he write, is it like an original score?
Oh, there's no chance. We probably won't even be able to play it, now that I think about it, without giving credit to wherever he stole the music from.
All right.
And now we have this, the Fast Five.
Yeah.
The next thing, one of them's going to mention this hot new composer, Kevin MacLeod.
Like, hey, guys, I found this new song, Malt Shop Bop.
Yeah, either they're going to be like, hey, Steve, you know what I think would be funny? You should learn the piano.
It's a great bit.
Yeah, right?
Great
Come on.
bit, right?
How funny would that be? We'll give you a few hours. I don't know, maybe 6.
So we will not go quietly into the night on this.
No, I promise you.
Fast Five remains, unless, like I said, they want to make a healthy contribution in money to our pockets.
Yeah, that's the only way that's getting farmed out. What I think we need to do is mobilize Steve and Kyle Army. Mm-hmm. We need to get them to attack, bad frame words, to have a conversation with
open the dialogue.
The hosts of this side gig that you work at. Shall not be named until this is resolved in a court. Please tweet them.
Let's see, we need a hashtag.
Hashtag not the real Fast Five.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Because they're scam artists.
Oh, hashtag Fake Five.
Hashtag Fake Five, that's what it is. All the hosts of that show, all the hosts, all the underlings, whatever part-timers you can find under the rocks that they pay, do whatever you got to do. What do you got, like 16 part-timers now? One holds a door open, one turns the lights on, and one acts like she's screening phone calls?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
One shovels the parking lot when it snows, even when it doesn't snow.
The other one drives Freebeer's Jeep around in circles so he doesn't get a parking ticket.
All right, so tweeted all of them, hashtag Fake Five.
Please help us this week, because
hashtag no thanks, hashtag Fake Five.
We will not go quietly into the night.
Bill Pullman said it best.
Yes, he did.
I don't know. I get goosebumps every
Bill Pullman.
Oh, that was no. Mr. President.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize.
Not just Bill Pullman.
Hey, Bill, pull him.
Not just Bill Pullman.
He's
Mr.
from New Jersey.
President. He's from New Jersey, you say.
All right, so while we have Doug here, originally we had said that we wanted to have Doug on to tell all of the embarrassing stories that happened to me when I was a young child.
Yeah.
Feel as though we probably don't have time for all of them, but I bet we can get a couple of them in, because we'll probably got another 15 minutes or so.
Well, yeah, if you're going to, take the rug out from under my feet and pull the Fast Five from me against my will, it's fine.
We got to talk. We got to mobilize our troops against the true enemy.
We did what was necessary.
The aliens have parked their ship right over top of us, and they're just waiting for the death ray to fire down.
We just need our Randy Quaid.
Our Randy Quaids in airplanes.
You alien! We just need our Randy Quaids to do the hard work. Yeah. Now, we want our Randy Quaids, 90s Randy's Quaid.
Yeah.
If we start talking early aughts Randy Quaids,
boy.
I don't think you should be listening to this podcast. No. You got some issues. We go get checked out.
Yeah.
So, Doug, I think first and foremost, it's important to get anything out of you regarding
I'm gonna back up.
It's the hottest story on this podcast the last month or so. And that is Steve and, your former boss, Jack, dying before Steve had a chance to properly apologize, to act like the jerk he was. Where do you stand? Now, you worked with Steve. He told us the tale. You guys were all the night crew, and you'd get your...
Best gig ever.
Right.
Yeah, we were the Saturday 3 to 11 crew.
Yep, and you'd rush your work down in the first 4 hours.
It was me, Doug, our buddy Eli,
Mike,
John. Yeah, Mike was there. Jeremy, Clay. Mm-hmm. Oh, it was
and Jim and Jim.
And Jim, yeah. So we were all of us are high school kids.
Yeah.
The guy that they left in charge, Jeremy, was also a high school kid, but he was a manager somehow. So
was it high school kid like older brother high school kid? So it's like, hey, he's a senior, you're freshman.
Yeah, he was like a year ahead of us.
Okay.
But yeah, so on Saturday around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, if any of the veterans were still there, they were out the door at 5 o'clock.
Sure.
So after they left, all hell broke loose at that place because we did nothing. We sat in the break room. We stole food from the bakery.
I have to disagree with that, though, because I think we went out and we killed it. That's why we were left alone all the time.
Well, we did, yeah. Because like I said to Kyle last week, we'd get in at 3, and we would just bust ass for the first 2 hours, 3 hours, get everything done, and then just sit around.
And then the last hour, you go back out, make sure everything looks great, and you're done.
You face everything.
So double face or you go single face?
Well, I mean, depending on how much
you got to block and level,
left.
man.
Yeah.
You got to block and level, make a wall. Yeah, so, did he ever tell you about the 64-gallon milk spill?
Oh, yeah, the high-low incident. Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
About how weren't you afraid you were going to have to pay for it or something like that?
Yes.
All I remember is coming into work.
That was kind of I would say, that was the incident that got me on Jack's... I was already on his bad side. Got me on his really bad side. I was on his bad side from literally the minute I met him, because my brother had worked with him in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mike...
My brother Mike had worked with him at another store. So...
Don't you disparage Mike to me. Him and I are practically brothers now.
I know. So he, my brother would tell me about this guy, Jack. So... This is first day at the new store. I meet Jack for the first time. He walks up and he says, "How you doing, Steve? And he introduces himself as Mr. Jones. I'm Mr. Jones. Mm-hmm. So I shake his hand. I said, Jack, I know you. You work with my brother." So right off the bat, he's trying to set the standard of calling him Mr., and I am blowing right through that roadblock and saying, "You're not Mr. to me, you're Jack."
Make note, he had a name tag on that said Jack.
Sup, Jack? That's you.
So I was like,
right?
hey, Jack.
Sup, man?
Oh, Jack, what's up, man? How are you?
That's your new boss.
What's up, man? How are you?
Your new boss.
It's my new
You're
boss.
dropping a what's up,
Yeah.
wearing your Adidas slides.
No, man, I'm in full Acme uniform.
Oh, you're ready to roll. You're ready to stop.
I'm in my pressed slacks.
Right.
My nice button-down shirt. My navy blue vest.
That has every concealable... It looks like Steve did not get his vest off before he threw up.
And my...
Lot going on then.
And my nice red tie. So I'm already off to a bad start. Then fast forward, I don't know, a couple months, couple years maybe, it all kinds of runs together. I spill 64 gallons of milk. Because
which is a lot. Now do they come on...
It's a freaking tidal wave of milk.
They come in carts at that point? Bossies is what we call them in the biz.
They were in it was in the
crates?
In the crate on a pallet.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I had forgotten to put one of the drains back in the ground. The pallet jack hit the drain. Whoosh. Milk everywhere.
I came in, and he's there, and I thought they painted the floor. That's how white it was.
Did you think about cleaning it? Now, we talked about this before,
I cleaned it.
but you cleaned it, right?
It was a 4-hour shift. I spent 3.5 hours cleaning milk.
He looked like Huck Finn, dude. He had his pants rolled up, no shoes on, riding the squeegee machine back and forth.
But you You mentioned that the milk, when milk spills, that's something that you don't get credit for. It's on the store.
Well, no, because it was store brand. Anything store brand,
right.
If it was damaged, you didn't get credit for. So it was a big deal if you broke something that was store brand because it's just wasted money. Whereas if that had been like, Happy Land Dairy milk,
yeah,
I would have gotten credit for it.
You said, hey, your stupid milk broke everywhere when he left it.
So Jack obviously knew about the milk incident, and about a week...
It was on camera, too.
About a week later, he came to me and he said...
Did you think about denying it?
No, never. About a week later, he came to me and he said, Steve, just wanted to let you know, I was able to pull some strings, and we were able to get credit for that milk. Which, in hindsight now, it seems so stupid because that was 64 gallons of milk.
$255.
Yeah, I was going to say, they're like $3 something a gallon. Like
that was a week's worth of pay for us.
In my mind, though, it was this massive amount back then. In hindsight,
right?
So Jack came to me and he said I was able to get credit for that milk, and everything's going to be okay. And this was probably strike 2 when I was just like, oh, cool.
But it seems like he came to you and was kind about it. At least it wasn't like if that ever happens again, you're canned or it's coming out of your check. Yeah. He said, I took care of it for you.
The only acceptable response from me is, thank you so much. Yeah. I'm sorry. It'll never happen again.
What'd you give him?
A hug.
Ah, cool. Cool, thanks.
So in Steve history,
that's strike 2. Strike 3 came when after he gave me a bad review because I was in like the co-op program my senior year.
Oh, right. So you went there for half your school day.
Went there for half the school day, and then I would work at the store. I got a bad review, so I didn't like that. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna be the model employee for like the next 3 months. And I was. And a couple months later, Jack came up to me and he said, hey, I just want to let you know I've really noticed a big improvement in your work. Your attitude has been so much better. All the other managers, very happy with your work. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at him and I said, yeah, I haven't changed anything. Whatever. And he just did that like...
Now, I want you to picture Steve back then, though, as he had this hair down to here. It was all frizzy and
That's what I was going to ask. That. Well,
my rad
skater cut.
My hope was that Steve looked like his hair now, just if he had let it grow longer. So he's, in my mind, he's always, flipping his head and getting his hair behind him.
No, he had pimples and...
it was a
f***ing train wreck. Pardon my language. Sorry. I'm learning. I'm from New Jersey.
Hey, I can't help it. I'm swearing up a storm. I'm from New Jersey. Hey.
Yeah. I'm from New Jersey. I can handle it.
Yeah, you've been out in this Midwest village for the last 10 years, and they've changed you and molded you.
So you've got hippie skater Steve watching Tony Hawk every night, telling his boss where to stick one.
Yep.
So that's another strike.
Yeah.
But Jack, nobody.
Did you like Jack?
No, Jack hated me.
So Jack hated you to
Jack put me on maintenance as punishment. He's like, gotta go clean toilets. And then these jerks would go around because I had to go and clean up like when there was a spill in the aisle.
Yeah.
They'd walk around the aisle and just knock stuff off the shelf.
Oh, man, another ragu spilled in aisle 4.
Can't believe it. Boy, that glass is everywhere. You're going to want to get that fixed quick, Doug.
God.
Yep.
Oh, boy. Okay.
I was not well liked by the manager there. Yeah. My direct manager, he liked me, but yeah.
Not Jack.
No.
So you're thinking it maybe ran... It was a Jack thing. He didn't appreciate dealing with you young punks.
Yeah, Jack was... he really wanted it to be known that he was the boss. And 37-year-old me completely understands that because you're the boss. You want to have respect. Like, you demand the respect from people. So a bunch of 15, 16-year-old kids coming in and breaking stuff on purpose and, telling fart jokes to customers in line, it's not going to go over too well. So Jack wanted it to be known he was in charge, and he wasn't. And he was definitely in charge, but we just didn't, because we were stupid kids. We didn't respect him.
Well, you know what they say about grocery store managers, Steve?
What's that?
They all die. Most of them without people being able to give an apology
Kyle, that's a low
before they pass away.
Yeah, but you know what?
He's trying to make me feel bad for not calling Jack 20 years later out of the blue and saying, "Hey, remember me?" No.
You know what?
Okay,
You know what Jack would have
sorry.
said to you? Okay.
Yeah, I bet. You know something? I bet he would have been.
Maybe Jack has a moment.
I bet he would have been the
he's
nicest person in the world to me.
Yeah, and
If
he
I
would have
bumped into
eased
him.
your pain. Instead, you now get to live the remaining years with the guilt
I don't know.
of never
Steve,
reconciling.
I don't
your...
really have that guilt.
You don't? You were distraught when you found out Jack had passed.
So, everybody that you've ever been mean to in your life, you've gone back and apologized?
No, but I don't let it beat me up like it felt like it. You let it beat you up.
Well, he spent a good significant amount of his
Right. No, I get
teenage
it.
years.
That's what I mean. That's why we openly talked about this, Doug. And Nick, thank you, Nikki, very much for the timestamp. It was it was 11 months and like it was 51 weeks ago, like this week.
That's crazy.
We talked about Jack. And the very reason it was brought up in the end of the discussion was we need to get Jack on the phone so we can do an apology from Steve because he felt bad about his response when Jack tried to give him a compliment. Fast forward 9 months, whatever reason, Jack comes up again, and I see the last name, or Steve gives me the last name because Steve's checking the Facebook, and I see Jack's passed away. And that hit Steve like a ton of bricks.
It did.
Yeah, when you spill somebody's 64 gallons of milk, that's a part of your heart, man.
How about this? Let's get a hold of his widow.
No, that is a terrible idea.
No, hear me out.
What about his son?
Hear me out. A family member.
All right.
And we'll ask, was there any cause that Jack was particularly fond of? Maybe what did he pass of? Is there a research foundation? And you can donate.
I'll do that. I know
the
it, I know what it
exact
is.
cost of 64 gallons.
Are we talking current price or
let's go
like
1990s
97
price.
prices?
Yeah, and we'll donate the exact cost of those 64 gallons of milk to whatever foundation or whatever in honor of Jack.
I'll do that. I'll do
Footing
that.
the bill.
New GoFundMe up at.
I'll do that. New GoFundMe posted. Okay. All right.
Oh man.
I'm glad we could, iron it out.
Back in the day, we had this camera at where the milk incident took place, and I guess after the milk incident took place, nobody wanted to be on camera anymore.
Yeah, why would you, right? You're
Yeah,
going to try to
exactly.
avoid it.
So it's the man.
This camera was like in the most like non-accessible spot. Like you would have to like go behind the baler and like climb up to get it in the ceiling.
Yeah.
Every day, somebody would hit that camera with something, so it would point down
Would
to
you
the ground.
throw it
Yeah.
from view of the camera, though?
No. You throw it from the side angle, or
Right.
or whenever we would be driving the forklift, which technically we weren't supposed to do.
Sure.
You just I got to lift this pallet up really high.
Yeah.
like 40 feet.
Oh,
in the air.
no, I bumped it.
We used to chase each other in the back room, right? Just be running back and forth. We'd run past the soda pallets. It had like the 2 liters all up.
Yeah.
And pull out your box knife.
Oh, you would not.
Yeah, you just clip
Guy
it.
behind you's
You
getting
clip it
drenched
because
in soda.
if you do the 12-ounce cans, and if you just nick the top of it, it just
You bunch of monsters.
yeah, and then people like you would have to come in and replace them all.
You guys are a bunch of monsters, is what you are. Were. Well, I shouldn't say were. We got a man who threw up shirtless in a Six Flags bathroom across from me today. I don't know if he's much better than he was back then anymore. I don't know what to think anymore.
We had this this guy that lived around the corner from us, and he's passed on now, but he's an old man.
Steve, you're bound to die. Put that on a sticker.
Old man Fenimore. And he would have these reindeer in his yard for Christmas every year, and he would have the letters that say.
So as an old man who loved Christmas, I can't wait to hear what respectful young gentlemen Steve and Doug did to these reindeer. Maybe you put bows on them. Maybe you built a paper mache Santa to sit in a sleigh.
So
what'd you do?
So there were 4 of them. So one would, and they spelled out Noel. So it'd be N. One deer would have, one reindeer has N, one has O, one has E, one has L. So we would We'd ride our bikes there under the cover of darkness.
It was around the corner from my house.
Yeah, and we would just position the deer in very inappropriate positions.
So Rudolph and Blitzen were blitzing, and then we would make it say Olen or Leon or something like that.
Yeah.
So old man Fenimore doesn't have much in his life. Obviously, his kids aren't visiting, grandkids, and you decide his joy of Christmas, which is all old man Fenimore has left, is too much for you two jerks to handle. And so you start making reindeer have sex.
Only in your mind. They were doing yoga. That's what we were doing. We were putting them in yoga positions.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder, I'm sure it was just a sprawling neighborhood. It could have been anybody. Old man Fenimore never would have guessed it was Doug and Steve, the guy slicing open 12-packs at work, throwing milk on the floor. And
small town.
Do you think he knew?
No, because what we would end up doing eventually is because we do it.
Did you blind him too? You couldn't have him see?
No, we threw a Molotov cocktail through his window. It was hilarious.
He had security cameras, so we burned the house down. What do you think we did?
You should have heard him scream.
We would go up my street and cross the street and go down to these kids that lived across the street from him and walk up their driveway and then run across to his house. And then run back to their house and then head home.
Yeah.
Because it was snowing, the footbirds,
Any stories of your childhood about how you guys volunteered at the shelter or had a lemonade stand, donated the
Steve ever
cause
tell you
to
his,
a humane society or any of those?
No.
Stories about you being respectful to literally anyone other than yourself?
No.
Steve ever tell you his claim to fame back in his hockey days?
Not NHL hockey, but because we all know there was no claim to fame.
No, we're talking
that, right?
we're talking Maple Shade street hockey.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch out.
Some roller derby. This is
no street hockey on
your feet. You didn't put on rollerblades.
Didn't even put on rollerblades
until you saw Airborne with Seth Green. Then you're like, I'm not playing if it ain't roller hockey anymore.
If it ain't roller, it ain't hockey.
See you at the backbone.
Hey. The last guy to walk off that thing.
Oh, come
Where's
on.
the quote?
Philip, I need you to design a shirt that says, if it ain't roller, it ain't hockey. With me screaming down Devil's Backbone.
Devil's Backbone.
With a hockey stick in my hand.
Yeah, hockey stick in hand, red hair flowing just out of your bowl, but it's a bowl cut flow, right?
So it's still got
shaved
here,
and
it's definitely.
Yeah, I saw the high school graduation photo that you posted where you pointed out all of the people that you don't talk to anymore, I believe.
High school,
or was that college? Yeah, because you guys college sweatshirts.
Yeah,
you're trying to pick it out.
College.
Ray was in the photo, and we all know what happened to him.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I don't talk to just one. Frank. We've had Frank on the podcast before. Frank
couldn't help swearing either.
Frank. Yeah. The only 3 edits I have written down are words that Doug has said tonight.
What do you mean no swearing? I'm from New Jersey.
Oh.
Doug, you're from New Jersey. Did you ever were you a Sopranos guy, or did you look at that and say, that's not the real mafia?
Okay, so New Jersey's like 2 pieces, right? There's a North Jersey and a South Jersey.
Okay.
Steve and I are from South Jersey.
So like the good side or the bad side?
Good side. Right.
What's wrong with North? So like Hoboken?
Yeah, that's north.
You know where the
Hoboken's north?
Yeah.
Okay.
The state capital is Trenton, right?
Yep.
There's a thin line of people that consider themselves Central Jersey that live there. They do not exist.
This is that is a weird thing where there's this debate that's been going on for years about whether there's a Central Jersey or not. Because if there is, I still grew up in South Jersey, but where I went to college, that would be considered Central Jersey. But where I eventually lived, that was North Jersey. Like, for some reason, people there are so stupid and stubborn that they can't just say, oh, okay, yeah, there is a Central, or there isn't a Central. They can't just all agree on it. And everyone is so, like, fired up about it.
Yeah. Well, we're from New Jersey. I mean,
who cares?
Of course I'm fired up. I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, we got some gabagool or what?
So now that Steve is no longer a resident of New Jersey, I have to say that at Trenton and North can go to North Jersey.
So you're not a Sopranos guy? You are a Sopranos guy?
Not a Sopranos
You didn't
guy.
like it? Or you never watched it?
Never really watched it.
Oh, man.
I'm a guy that goes to Gurnee, Illinois. Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
You're watching Airborne. Why? I don't know why I would think in 6 short years you'd be turning on The Sopranos. You don't just give up Airborne in 6 years and go to the dark side of The Sopranos.
I want to see Kyle's Netflix history later on this week.
Well, the one thing you'll find that's embarrassing is The Money Pit, and I'll show you.
It's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful movie.
Well, that's beautiful. That's awesome. I'm glad you're able to make it to the hotbed, Gurnee. So the next step is Atlanta and San Antonio, you think?
Yep.
What's the big one? What's the one that you'll, like for me, I'm a comic book collector, Doug. The book I want the first appearance of Spider-Man. It's something I know I'll never have, though, because it's just way out of the price range. What's the roller coaster for you now? Because I know it's like always a competition, right? Internationally. Is there one you look at, China, wherever, you're like, that's the dream, but it'll never happen?
Yeah, probably anything outside the country other than Canada,
Never going to make the international flight for a roller coaster?
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know if you heard. We made all the way of a 2-hour flight for a bar.
That's right. 2 bars.
You guys from Michigan?
Dreams?
Badass.
Dreams are possible, Doug. Let me just tell you that much. Okay.
Do you want to do the Fast 3?
You keep mispronouncing it. It is the Fast 5, right? You have the Fast 5?
Yeah, the Fast 3.
Yeah, let's do it very quickly.
Okay.
I do have to get home.
Well, if you got to go, we can... do the one person watching on YouTube want us to do the Fast 5?
Oh, is that what we're down to?
Actually, no, 6. I'm
6?
sorry.
It did drop.
We got 6. What were we at?
Do we want the Fast 5 or another Steve story?
It's got to be a good one, though. It's got to be the most embarrassing one. So, if you have one...
Well, I'm just going to say this. If anybody decides to have Steve give you the speech at your wedding as the best man...
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2, folks, so don't let...
Over 2? I thought you were happy. You've told a tale...
The speech was good.
The speech was
the
epic.
wedding, the marriage...
Oh! Well, what was the other one you gave the best man speech at?
Bob's.
Oh, I thought you gave one of your brothers.
No. Just Bob and Doug.
What was the one you were bragging about? I thought it was your brothers. Maybe I'm nuts.
It was probably the Doug's.
The one that you posted on. It was on YouTube.
Yeah, you can type it in.
It was a kick-ass speech, but
what was the title? It's. I think it's. Here, let me type. Yeah, type in. Wait, I'll find it and then I'll just shoot it over to you real quick.
Yeah, epic speech, folks, but 0 for 2.
Yeah. So
you think? At this point in time, it's safe to say a Steve Best Man speech is a kiss of death for a marriage?
Absolutely.
What's the timeline on that, Doug? Just out of curiosity for anybody who considers it. Years, months?
Oh, years.
Couple years?
Yeah.
Some years?
Hey, no hard feelings to that my ex-marriage partner. No hard feelings whatsoever.
There are no hard feelings?
Nope, none
even
whatsoever.
though Steve ruined it from the get-go?
Absolutely.
Just type in Steve's speech, Doug's wedding on YouTube.
We going Doug D-O-U-G, or
Yep.
we going, okay,
Yeah.
Steve's...
Man, look how skinny I am there.
Oh, it fills right in because I'm on the podcast account. Beautiful.
47
Whoa,
views.
look at that. 5.5 minutes. You went off the paper. Smart move.
No, I think it was pretty much... the
thumbnail is a view of the picture. So.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, boy, that audio is not great.
No.
Well, it's definitely not straight from the microphone.
That's what a Verizon cell phone video camera will do for you from 2007.
All right. Let's see.
I know that Doug and Chrissy really appreciate everybody being able to make it. It's nice to see so many people that I haven't seen in a very long time. And I know that
Oh, my God, get to it. It's not a eulogy.
Good to see that all the guys survived the bachelor party a couple weeks ago.
Oh, man, we're going to talk about Mike a ton on that one.
We're just going to fast forward to a random spot here.
All right.
Oh, man. I missed a big hitter. Hang on. Don't worry. I got you. Let me back it up.
I got 2 words.
Oh, no.
I'm too far?
Pause it there. Bring it back about 20 seconds or so.
Okay. All right. This was a big setup.
I was
big
talking about all the fun memories that I had of Doug.
Which we should have talked about all of them.
Like, and in this case, we had gone, I may say it in here, but we had, when we were 16, maybe 17 years old, for some reason, my parents were okay with us driving to Rhode Island to visit my brother, who was in his, I don't know, he was at school.
He was in college.
At Johnson and Wales University.
Okay.
So we're like, let's go visit my brother.
Probably ill-advised at that age.
And this is when we were really into BMX. So we had convinced them, like,
R.I.P. Kevin Robinson.
we've watched all these great videos about how great the riding is in Rhode Island, in Providence. So we want to go to Providence. Oh, we'll stay at my brother's place. So, of course, we just went there, did a little bit of riding, did a lot of drinking.
Sure.
So this is where, hopefully, that picks up.
Wooden reindeer in inappropriate positions on Old Man Tidamore's front lawn every Christmas. I remember the road trip to my brother's apartment in Rhode Island when Doug drank one too many Bud Ices and announced to everyone, "I got 2 words for you," and I quote, "Been there, done that."
2 words.
I'm from New Jersey.
Vomited in the bathtub right after.
What do you mean, Carlton? I'm from New Jersey.
Hey, I vomited in the bathtub right after that with my shirt on. Thank you.
You don't have to take that off?
No.
All right.
I remember being 7 years old like I am. You're at that.
Did you have a big heartfelt ending, or would you stay with a punchline joke?
It's phenomenal. Why don't you just put the link up on the page? People can look at it.
Yeah.
Play it.
I could not be happier for you.
Cute.
Crispy. Good luck.
Brought the room down.
Listen to that. They're roaring.
Yeah, because they all knew in like 8 years.
All right. Really quick, we'll do a fast 3.
Oh, that's too loud. Gonna redo it?
That's not loud enough at all. Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, I think you went first last time.
Yeah, take
I'm
it
gonna
away.
go first this time. John McCain.
Yeah, you know what they say
Oh,
about U.S. senators.
no, what's that?
They all die.
Same with grocery store managers.
Yeah, it's weird. All right,
It's a trend.
Next, NFL preseason. I don't know why.
Oh, hot action! You're not watching. So week 3 is the dress rehearsal, Steve.
Yeah.
Big week last week. How'd your Eagles do?
I believe they lost.
5-0 to the Cleveland Browns.
5-0. That's
But you
embarrassing.
did see that Cam Newton run, right?
Oh yeah. Cam Newton fell on his face or
Tried
fell
to
on
break his
head.
neck in a preseason game. Did you see this?
Oh no, I didn't.
You need to Google that.
All right, and finally SummerSlam.
It feels like it's only 3.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, fast 3.
Trademark
Pretty
that.
good card there, Steve. Went real late. Started at 5 p.m. That's Eastern, and that's sharp 5 p.m. for the pre-show. Mm-hmm. 13 matches taking place on the card over 6.5 hours of television programming. Mm-hmm. All for the coronation of our new savior, Roman Reigns, the new Universal Champion. I know you were watching.
Yeah.
You were sitting there. A couple
before
great
that,
matches.
we had NFL preseason.
Yeah, week 3 in the books, man.
How'd your Lions end up?
I was ugly. I was very intoxicated. We'll get more into that next week to recap my casino trip.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And
Casino tour of Michigan.
thought there was an outside chance. It didn't happen that I might be yelling at the television during week 3 of the preseason.
Nice.
Did not happen. Yeah, embarrassing, though.
And before that, John McCain.
Yeah, that's can't surprise. I mean, sure, it's a shame, but he wasn't present in Congress the last few months of the last session, if I recall.
Yeah.
That from everything I've read is that glioblastoma. No prison. I mean, it is a death sentence.
See all the hubbub about the flag?
Flags up, flags down. Afternoon, mornings. A train wreck that is a very simple analogy to the Donald Trump presidency and the way it's run up, down. Who knows? No clear direction.
I don't know. What's Fox News say? What's
Yeah.
Twitter say? I'll do that.
That was a bit crazy because there was a still today as well. I believe he was at a press briefing or something, or giving a statement on trade. That's right, at 11 a.m. And the press tried to ask questions and said, "Hey, do you have anything to say about the passing of John McCain?" And instead, he sat there, arms folded, stone-faced, while his staff herded the press out of the Oval Office. So,
All right.
you can tell that it's pretty.
Freedom of the press.
You can tell it's still ugly.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter whatever his staff tweeted for him about the passing of John McCain. It's still Trump will never forget, which he doesn't need to be forgiven. For God's sake, Trump needed to apologize.
Yeah.
It's just he's holding a grudge against a now dead man.
Yeah. That's not really a surprise, though. Not at all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Paul Manafort,
Guilty.
right? Big news? Not
Yeah.
big news. We'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Hurricane Lane.
Did it make landfall yet?
I think
it's done.
Yeah, it was down to like a depression or a storm outside of Hawaii. But
there were like 160 mile an hour winds at one point.
Yeah,
They said it was going to be like one of the biggest storm. Like, I don't know if it was Katrina level, but it was massive.
Yeah, you don't hear about Hawaii getting hit a lot. I wonder. It's just a weird direction. That's a crazy thing. Urban Meyer, big news of the week.
Yeah, he kind of apologized, right?
Oh, it's bad though. He refused to apologize to the wife,
to the person,
to Shelley Smith, the victim of domestic abuse. Saying, "I'm sorry, we're all in this situation," which is very non-apologetic.
Yeah,
bad look. Bad look.
It's like just enough to say he apologized.
Right. 3-game suspension though.
Yeah.
People still upset he didn't lose his job. I don't know. I'm not the moral arbiter here.
Right.
This does feel like obviously football took precedence there at Ohio State over any moral matters.
Mm-hmm.
National Draft Day. Yesterday, Steve. You there?
Yeah, of course I was.
Yeah?
I was in a bathroom stall in Kearney, Illinois.
Yeah, I told you I was in there puking so I could be on my
doing your drafts?
my fantasy ticker sports
ticker tape.
blog.
Yeah. That's what they're all calling it. National Draft Day yesterday. And finally, Kelly Ward. Did you hear about that?
I don't know who that is.
That is a Republican female, Trump-supported, running for Jeff Flake, open Senate seat in Arizona.
Okay.
Made the news this after John McCain's passing when emails were leaked that she accused John McCain's camp of trying to sabotage her campaign by announcing his ending of cancer treatment. She said that a dying man, by announcing he was dying, did it to interfere with her campaign.
Boy, that's odd. That's odd.
That's a deep cut. You're McCain. You're like, I'm going out. I'm going out. I'm sweeping the leg on the way out.
It's like one last thing.
Yeah. Tell him 24 hours in advance when Kelly Ward's bus is roaring through Arizona or whatever. What a weird stance. And for that
how
to be
does she
leaked.
feel as though that?
They think they timed the statement to derail a rally she was having with Tommy Lauren in Arizona Saturday night, which, by the way, don't worry, Tommy Lauren and Kelly Ward went to that rally in front of her bus, said, we can't elect another person like John McCain in this Senate.
Yeah.
Hours after he died. Shameless.
All right.
Before that National Draft Day, you said you were on your phone in the restroom at the Gurney Six Flags.
You want to hear my...
did you turn it down or come unplugged?
I think it...
Unhooked? Yeah, it's...
Try it now.
Hello.
There we go.
You got a couple teams. Who was your first round draft pick, Steve, in all your fantasy drafts?
Oh, first pick was Marshall Mathers.
8 Mile, baby.
Before that, Urban Meyer suspended 3 games. Probably, I think it's in the middle. I think it's more than people thought he would get, but I think the cynics thought he would, they're going to give him nothing. But I think a lot of people, non-football related, were hoping he was going to lose his job. Neither happened.
Yeah.
Suspended for 3 games.
3 games.
Now, a lot of people, the first few are cupcake games. I forget who they even play, but the third game is against TCU, a big game. I don't know. Where do you fall? Is it enough? Not enough? Should he have been suspended at all?
Well, like you said, I'm not the moral compass for this. I'm surprised he wasn't fired.
Me too. Considering the previous head coach there was fired because his players got a tattoo. Got tattoos in exchange for like merchandise.
Yeah, that's
seems like a lot less.
Yeah, it seems like in sports there's really no like hard and fast rule of this is the punishment you get.
Yeah.
It's like somebody gets suspended for a year, someone gets fired, someone gets a slap on the wrist.
And there's no oversight. It's not the NCAA doing this. Was an investigation by Ohio State.
Yeah.
How can that be truly independent?
Right, exactly.
It's kind of amazing that that's still a thing.
Yeah.
Before that, Hurricane Lane, thank goodness, actually downgraded to a storm or depression when it hit Hawaii, or by the time it hit Hawaii. I mention it because I don't think I've heard a hurricane this season like hit land and be damaging.
Yeah, and hurricane season starts in June, right?
Yeah, and they're all the way to the L's. They do it alphabetically now.
Oh, yeah. Wait, they don't just pick up from where they left off the
Nope.
previous
Every
year?
season starts at A, and they release
That's a real
the
screw
names.
job for like all the R-named hurricanes.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
you think ours bad? How about the
Hurricane
W's? What about
Steve.
William? William's been waiting for years.
Yeah.
And that poor guy
you
is just
Google-
hoping for some death.
Can you Google Hurricane William? See if we had one.
Well, you know what? They probably were before they started going in alphabetical. Have they always done this?
I think so. They list a name at the beginning of the season, and then if they get through all the names, they have a second set where it's like AA.
Oh, I thought they were like through a barbecue or something.
Oh well, no more storms. Wrong names.
we made it. Let's eat ribs.
Second with letter B. So on today. What is the highest letter hurricane? Here we go. Hurricane Wilma.
Oh yeah, Wilma.
Strongest ever recorded,
It was in
but
the
also
80s,
the
right?
highest letter, reaching intensity of whatever in 2005.
Yeah, right, 80s.
Only 25 years off there, Doug.
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, hey.
New
we have
Jersey.
hurricanes in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey.
So-
we had an S. We had Sandy.
Yeah. So the X, Y, and Z get the shaft every year.
Hurricane
I
is
know.
so
what-
X is only what, Xavier and
Xavier, Xander,
xylophone.
Zaniel. They just start taking, like, instead of Timothy, it's Zimothy because they have no idea what to do. That it's like a traditional Egyptian name.
Right.
But yeah, L. And I mean, every year it feels like for the past decade there's been one or two, and it happens with winter storms too, where you're like, boy, that one smacked the East Coast, or that one beat the heck out of, New Orleans or New Jersey. It's kind of crazy that this is the first we're hearing.
Yeah.
And firstly, the big political news this week: Paul Manafort found guilty.
Found guilty.
On 8 of 18 charges, and regarding being an agent, essentially, of the Russian government, working in the United States and not registering as such. People seem kind of split. How is this a big shoe dropping? Because now it seems like they needed those guilty verdicts to now work him into being a cooperator. I think that's still the long game.
I think it's huge. Is it going to do anything?
Right.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of info out there. I read a bunch of stories on that this week for like a good half hour because I'm trying to understand more.
Sure.
Of everybody's role and exactly what happened. And I finished the whole article and I'm like, I still don't know what the hell to think.
I can't. I remember when Michael Flynn was indicted and it was talk that he was going to cooperate with the Mueller investigation. I thought, oh boy, that's a big shoe. Things are coming now. It's going to be a wave. The dam is breaking, and it's been however long. I know it was going to take long. Did anybody think that this thing was going to take this long to hear any findings?
Oh yeah.
Like it's going to be 2 years before we hear a peep.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Manafort? Or are we talking about
The
Russian,
entire Mueller investigation,
which is the Russian?
Yeah.
I'm going to sign off now. So
that's all we. I mean, it's been so
I'm
long.
from New Jersey.
That's all we. I mean, there's been nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes. I don't care. I just want some. I think
It's an illusion.
I want to hear. I just want to know, like, what the fight. I mean, I appreciate the due diligence, but boy, is it taking quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
me
back.
ask you this,
You don't
right?
need your headphone to talk.
I'm from New Jersey.
I need a headphone to talk.
Let me ask you this, right? If you could start a special investigation group, right, and get guaranteed to get paid through it to investigate whatever you wanted, right? The floor match at the Hooters in Gurnee, Illinois.
Yeah.
Why they don't have them. And you get paid millions of taxpayer dollars to do it.
Yeah.
Would you prolong it as long as possible?
Let me ask you this: am I in my 70s?
I don't know. Are you?
That's what I mean. If I'm in my 70s, no, because I'm going to die, and the money's not that important at that point. Now, if I'm 30, yeah, maybe I juice the books a little bit, right? But if I'm 75, Bob Mueller got a government pension. I don't think he has the incentive. Maybe the people working there, they're not hustling through their daily chores like they could be. Like, hey, today we're going to do this, this, and this.
They're spilling 64 gallons of milk.
Yeah. They're waiting for the payout from Jack.
Flipping off the boss.
They're waiting for Jack to come by and tell them it's all good and it's not going to happen.
Kyle, there's a guy I want you to bring up in your next podcast. I won't be here. His name is Tony, and he wears Daisy Dukes, and I think you and Steve need to discuss him.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was my old boss, Tony Balboni.
He was a jerk to him too.
Tony
There's
Balboni has been covered numerous times on the side gig,
Which we don't talk about.
yeah. But we might be able to bring that up.
Well, next time we're discussing Steve's disrespectful history, Tony Balboni's on the top of the list.
Oh boy, is it!
Oh God,
yeah,
that is a real name.
Yeah, that's a real name. It's a real man.
Like he should be in a Rocky movie,
and it's a real story of me being really, really.
You worked there for a week?
Yeah, a couple weeks, I think.
Boy, that was a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
All right, that is.
We gotta get the heck out of here.
Yep.
It's way too late on a Monday night.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Doug, for being a special guest.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to Steak Fajita Tacos.
What's up?
Just a shout out to Steak Fajita Tacos.
Okay,
just the food.
Here's a shout out to.
I feel like you really minimized your first.
Corral, Steve.
I feel like you minimized your first shout out, which was to the waitresses who were bargaining for fair feet softness by now shouting out a food.
I'll say less words.
Here's a shout out to green paint. Am I right, guys?
Love Village.
Love the carpet. Shout out.
Thanks to the 6 people who, down to 4 people.
Oh yeah, they left in the Fast Five. I think it's a train wreck.
Who stuck around on YouTube. Podcast. I guess maybe we'll leave this video up on YouTube. I don't know.
We'll
Haven't
see.
decided yet. But in the meantime, download, subscribe, and review the show in iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, Libsyn, StephenKyle.com. We totally blew past
Big
merch.
show next week. We got a lot to get to next
blew
week.
past merch. So we'll have an announcement on merch as well as the billboard next week.
Yeah.
We will talk to you then.
Big
Peace.
week.
This Sunday, take a drive to Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. Now open Sundays in May from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Rain or shine, wander 6 acres of lush plant paradise, bursting with the area's largest selection of flowers, plants, and shrubs. Every plant is hand-selected and lovingly cared for, ensuring vitality and beauty you'll cherish all season long. In May, stop in 7 days a week at Countryside Greenhouse, where imagination blooms.
Hey, it's Tom from Gordon Water Systems. Ever notice all those half-empty plastic bottles laying around your house? And guess what? At most, 30% of those plastic bottles get recycled. Instead of adding to the problem, why not switch to a better solution? For the same price you can grab a 5-gallon at a big box store, Gordon Water Systems will deliver the same 5-gallon bottle right to your door. Call today or visit GordonWater.com.
Your joints and bones carry you through life. Take care of them with one of nature's most powerful supports. Azure Wells Cod Liver Oil is rich in vitamins A and D and packed with omega-3s to help strengthen bones, support mobility, and reduce inflammation from the inside out. It's our best-selling product for a reason. Visit AzureLivingWell.com, that's A-Z-U-R-E, livingwell.com, and give your bones and joints the support they deserve. These products have not been evaluated by the FDA and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.